Welcome back to the continuation of round 6 here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. This is presented by A-Shock. I'm Jared Deenda. This is Mr. Mega, Andrew Coley. Now let's just dive right into it. A lot of controversy, or I'm going to speak in English terms here, controversy on what went down yesterday.
Exceptional English, Jared. No protests on that, but loads of protests yesterday over passing. We want to see passing, but it's such a fine line. So Chris Meek put his amazing move on Travis Pastrana. He definitely, for me, his first really good, clean rallycross move, and the stewards like, oh no, we're not having that. Even Travis is like, dude, come on, that was awesome. So there was some aggressive driving. We want to see some passing, but we can't see cars nerfed off into the scenery. So drivers and stewards are meeting to go, can we find some common ground here and make sure that we can still race, still see some overtaking? I think the key thing is so close between all the drivers. An amazing day's action. Can't wait for today.
Track's getting prepped right now. You can hear the tractors back there smoothing it out, finding that blue groove, finding the marbles. You'll find it all, but you will find Ollie Eriksson grabbing the belt, the TQ belt. He got that #1 spot. How is he going to fare today? Is Travis Pastrana going to go 2 for 2 at the double headers here in Arizona? Let's take a look back at some battle brackets.
Qualifying then for round 6. First up was Ollie Eriksson and Andreas Backrud. Backrud tried the cut back here underneath the A-Shock Energy Gap jump with a tiny bit of contact. Unfortunately, broke his steering rack. He ended up parked at the side of the road. Next up, Chris Meek, Travis Pastrana. Meek made this pass up at turn 2, which everyone thought was brilliant, except unfortunately the stewards. They did not agree, and they DQ'd him for it. Pastrana even had said that he thought it was a great move. McConnell and Martel, side by side. Martel on the inside line here, having a look to try and make a pass as they drop down to the back half of the circuit. Fraser McConnell, though, flicking that Jamaica machine over to the right-hand side of the road and holding on to the position to take the win. Robin Larson versus Kevin Eriksson. Larson out front would go through. On to the semi-finals. Pastrana versus Eriksson. This time it was Pastrana who was on the receiving end of the penalties. That was judged to be too hard. He was given a 5-second penalty. Ollie Eriksson got back past him anyway, but the steward still slapped it on him over that big jump. And there's Big P with the checker flag. Eriksson goes through to the final. Fraser McConnell versus Robin Larson. Larson into the door of McConnell all the way through onto the front straight. McConnell not over the moon about that one. Was it borderline like the Meek move was or not? Either way, this time the stewards let it pass. And broken car for Fraser McConnell over the jump. Larson makes it through to the final against Eriksson. So Oliver Eriksson with a much better start. Robin Larson piled the pressure on. He even stuck his nose up the inside here. Got Eriksson really sideways. He tagged the wall. He held on, chucked the car back out in front. And Oliver Eriksson sweeping through those left-handers, coming over the A-Shock Energy Gap jump here. He would hold on until the checkered flag. And he is your top qualifier for round 6 of Nitro Rallycross. His second time top qualifier this year, but the first one of those big belts. So Eriksson in P1, then Larson, McConnell and Pastrana. Those are the points down the right-hand side. Qualifying done for round 6. Okay,
here we are overlooking. Sorry about that. We're all excited. We're excited, Coley. Gila River Casino. Have you placed your bets yet?
I haven't placed my bets. No. Not much of a gambling man. I'll bet on myself maybe, but not so much on the randoms. So today we're going heat racing. Basically, first of all, the winners of each of those heats will go to row 1. The semi-final winners will go to row 2. Row 3 will be second in the semi-finals, and row 4 will be reserved for those LCQ drivers who got a brilliant result last time out. They made it up to the podium, so anything can happen.
Keep in mind, there's 11 vehicles that enter, and only 8 can be in the final. So this is the first stop on the train, and there is the grid for Group E Heat 1. Robin Larson on pole. Next to him, Fraser McConnell, winner in Glen Helen. Chris Meek, who had some great racing yesterday. Connor Martel got second. Austin Cindric, and rounding it out, Ollie Bennett.
Here we go then. There was a bit of beef yesterday between Larson and McConnell. Remember, Larson made that pass coming onto the front straight, got into the back of McConnell, and he did get through. McConnell's going to want to beat him down to the start. I saw him this morning, and Fraz says he's going round the outside of Larson in turn 1. Let's see if he can away from the line. Good start by Martel, good start by Meek in the background too, but the door gets shut in the front row. Contact between them. McConnell is true to his word, tries to go all the way around the outside of Larson. Larson gets a bit of traction though. That's Chris Meek that's alongside Fraz. Fraz going to tuck in behind Larson. Meek going for the high, wide line. I think it's Bennett coming up the inside too. Oh, now trying to get it on the exits of Fraser McConnell, but it is Larson who leads with Chris Meek outside him.
We're seeing a lot of tussling here between the vehicles. The only car that matters right now, you want to get #1. That way you could chill. You could rest on your laurels knowing you're on that front row. Remember, keep in mind, there is Heat 2. Both of the winners of each heat go to that front row. And right now, Robin Larson is performing masterclass. Fraser McConnell. Now, there it is, the Yokohama Tire Joker lap being utilized by Robin Larson, Fraser McConnell, and Connor Martell. Talk about the delta. What is the delta? What does it mean?
We're really not sure in terms of track conditions. Yesterday, it was only about half a second, so we'll see as they head out on these first couple of runs what it is. Chris Meek had a shocker there, Jared. He was in almost in P2. This is where they're coming back in for the merge. And Chris ran out. I think he hit the outside of the A-Shock Energy gap jump in the wall. It dropped right down to the back of the pack, so he's back there with Ollie Bennett. Larson leading from McConnell by 0.7 of a second. They've joked already. So now it's about if anyone behind can get on the rear, Jared. We know it's only half a second. Martell on the inside there. You've got to be right behind him if you want to get the overlap. And at the minute, nobody's there.
No, Larson is just showing you why he is our current points leader. He's just separating himself from the rest of the pack. He's running his own line. He's running his own race. He has just been really consistent. Now, keep in mind, up until round 5 here, the doubleheader, he hasn't been outside of P2, and he's showing you that. He's showing you why he is. I mean, he was way back there, but that just, it didn't come together for him, you know, but here he is. This is again, building confidence going into the finals.
Martell went joker on that one along with Cindric. Sorry, he went the previous one. Cindric and Bennett went, but you can see they're too far back to make any kind of headway. This is a 2-car race. Chris Meek seems to have dropped off. He hasn't made it round on the lap, hasn't tried, 4.4, he's still there. He hasn't done his joker. He's the only driver who hasn't been the joker. Martell goes quickest, but Jared, they're too far away, and at the minute, only Fraser can deny Robin Larson. He's too far back to try and make a pass.
I mean, Robin's gonna need to make a mistake in order to really see an advancement here, but Fraser McConnell, this is, again, just one more moment for confidence. You know, you can't win in this heat, you can't win in semifinals, you can't win in the LCQ, you have to make it to the finals. And let it be known, even though you're in the LCQ, we saw Connor Martell and Andreas Backrud from that 4th row get 2nd and 3rd place. It is doable, so don't count yourself out, you gotta get to the final.
Chris Meek's just gone joker. Remember here, because the joker comes out after the start-finish line, they have to joker before the last lap. So Meek went on that 3 out of 4 laps for these heat races. Larson on this last lap with 0.8 of a second back to McConnell. McConnell would have wanted to go through now, Jared, because he would have liked to have got revenge on Larson. He would also like to be on the front row in the final, but this will put him at least on pole in the next one, so he won't have to try that round the outside move.
There you go. All right, so Robin Larson making it look really easy. Oh, little hiccup there.
Getting nearer.
A quick little wheel correction. He's flirting with the tire stack, Robin Larson, but Fraser McConnell. And we have seen some drivers make an effort here on that last turn, going towards that finish line and checking flag.
This was when it went yesterday. Yep. It was Larson who got McConnell. Can McConnell get revenge and give it back to him exactly the same way, because he promised he'd have a crack at him. He's in the rear corner of Larson now. I don't think he's quite close enough. He wanted to run him wide. He's a car length back. Larson jumps back into the arena. He wins heat 1 and goes straight through to the final. McConnell comes in P2, Martell in P3. They'll be the front row in the first of those semis.
Did you hear that? The door shut on Fraser McConnell. Robin Larson, well done for him as he gets that pole position. Well done by Robin Larson.
Little glance across there. I always wonder, is Fraz there, you know, looking across, glaring at the point that they're coming in, but I don't think so. There won't be huge beef there. It's just you don't want to get beat. Nobody wants to get beaten.
Larson's got a really good demeanor, and guess what? He's got a good position. Robin Larson, the winner. Fraser McConnell, Connor Martell, Austin Cindric, Ollie Bennett, and Chris Meek rounding it out. Let's take a look back, and again, with Robin Larson just so dominant, this is going to be a favorable position here in the Gila River Resort and Casino analysis.
I was hoping to see Chris Meek on that first lap, Jared. So the banner's down on the bottom of the A-Shock Energy gap jump. I think he ran wide on the run down the hill and ended up in the wall there. I'm sure it was Fraser and well, it was the 3 of 1. It was Fraser, Larson, and Meek went in there, and Meek ended up on the other way. He's been pinned to the back of the pack, so biggest loser, I think, in that one.
Here we are, 30-second card is up, and let's take a look at what drivers are in Heat 2. Ollie Eriksson on pole. He got the TQ yesterday. Travis Pastrana on the front row as well. Andreas Backrud, Kevin Eriksson, and then rounding out that trio, or excuse me, the Cinco, is Chase Elliott in that Olsberg's MSE vehicle, the accelerator in that back row.
So Travis Pastrana, you can see a TQ sticker on his window there. He wasn't TQ this time, it's Ollie Eriksson. 2 TQ stickers look on the side of his car. Pastrana with a deep breath, pulls the handbrake on, knows he's got to get this done. Eriksson, last time he was top qualifier, he won his heat and he went straight to the front row of the final. That was a disaster in Sweden. He'll want to get it done here. Wheel spin from Pastrana on the outside line. Kevin Eriksson moves across on backward contact between them and Pastrana. 3 wide. Ollie Eriksson keeps it super low. Pastrana gets run up super high by Kevin Eriksson. He's going to get alongside Andreas Backward and should pass him up into the hairpin, up into turn 2. Pastrana's gone back to the back of the pack, Jared. Oh, Eriksson 1-2, and now Pastrana up the inside of all 3. Oh no, Chase Elliott almost hit the tyres on the inside line. Backward has to slide to third. It's an Eriksson 1-2.
I'll tell you what, Backward's move looked really nice. He just squeezed right on in there. Kevin Eriksson, as you said, pushed Pastrana wide, but he still held on to it. But Andreas Backward, you see, he got a bit of a body job there, and look at that, Pastrana and the Eriksson bros go into that Yokohama Tire Joker lap.
Surprised Kevin went in with him, Jared. We keep saying this, that you only one car goes through, remember, so you need to win this. It's not like the semi, where if it was the semi, I'd 100% have gone with him. The top 2 go in. The Joker lap's shorter. The leader is nearly always going to Joker on that one. Here they come out in front. Now Backward needs to be in P2 here, otherwise Kevin's going to block him. Tries to go around the outside line. He's got to get into P2 and he's alongside. So Andreas Backward over the A-Shock Energy gap jump. Going to slide that RX Keltime machine up the inside.
Watch this move by Backward going in on Kevin Eriksson. Swung a little too wide, but look, now he's on a favorable position. He went out to in, right? So now watch him out here.
But look, he knows. And we saw this yesterday. The Erikssons are good at that, Jared. They know if you run deep, they'll try and sneak up the inside. So he may well get in front of Eriksson here, but it's no good in terms of taking the win. However, he'll want to be on the front row in the semi. So still an important position to gain. I think he could do this. Let's have a look. He was right behind him.
There's the Yokohama Tire Joker predictor, and they are saying that Backward is going to get in front of Kevin Eriksson. You can see Ollie, Kevin, Travis, and Backward in that Yokohama Tire Joker lap, and not enough. So Kevin Eriksson shuts the door on him.
Pastrana.
And look at Pastrana flexing on Backward.
Nearly got him, didn't he, on the way up the inside. Nicely done there. If he'd gone deep on the brakes, he'd taken him out. Chase Elliott's right there too, Jared. I think this is the thing with these FC1Xs. There's 4 seconds between the top 5 here. Yeah, okay, Ollie's had a little bit of a breakaway. There's only 2.3 between P2 and P5. It's super close between them.
But the only position that counts, the winner. Because that way you're locked, you're kind of chilling, you're going to have some catering, you're going to kick back, get your mind right, look at your fellow competitors, because right now, Ollie Eriksson with that TQ, confidence, he obviously knows the track. Pastrana maybe got shook with Kevin Eriksson going him into the gate, and then Andreas Backward just kind of working all the lines. He's just really kind of trying to find that sweet spot, and that blue groove on turn 1, it's starting to show a little bit more as the day progresses.
Yeah, I was talking to the drivers earlier, they were saying it's the side-by-sides who put most of that blue groove down. It's back already, Jared. The side-by-sides have only been out a couple of times. Remember, Ollie Eriksson, as the top qualifier, chose which heat he went into. He chose this one, only got 5 cars in it. Travis did the same thing on Friday. He chose to go in the 5-car heat. And if he wins this race, which he's looking very likely to do as the top qualifier, he will take pole. It'll be him and Larson on the front row.
Ollie Eriksson, a couple more turns away from getting the win and finding himself on that front row of the finals. That's what the heats are all about, dictating where you're at in the finals or if you're even in the finals. And Ollie Eriksson with the Olsbergs Dixon vehicle, number 16, from TQ to checkered flag. Ollie Eriksson locking up that front row. Kevin Eriksson will get pole in the semis. Andreas Backward, he's up in the mix. But Pastrana back and forth. He got the victory round 5. He got it here last year. And now Chase Elliott comes on in with that accelerator vehicle.
Wonder if we'll hear from Ollie. He doesn't talk much, does he, on the way back to the paddock? We noticed that yesterday, so not going to hear from him, I think. Great, that was a dominant one for Ollie Eriksson, wasn't it? There are the stars and stripes. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. Ollie Eriksson takes the win in Group E. Heat 2, he will be pole in the final. Dominant, really. I mean, after the start here, Kevin being there, I imagine they would have had a little chat, and Kevin has maybe helped him in turn 1. Another look at the start look. So Eriksson gets a good start. Pastrana actually dropped back. Kevin's inside him instantly. He runs Pastrana wide. Look backwards, right behind Ollie. But Ollie's absolutely on that inside line. And then with Kevin behind him here at this point, you kind of know, don't you? It's an Eriksson 1-2. He can play rear gunner for him.
I just love the track. I mean, everybody that shows up here, look at that shot.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, just the track overall has so many different elements in order for drivers to have variety. I'm talking about lines. I'm talking about strategy, where to pass, what's going on, the jumps, the step up, the gap jump, the bank turns, going off camber when you go off and towards the freeway there, towards the open road. Just so many different elements, and I think that really creates great racing and great driving.
It's opportunities, isn't it? There are opportunities to pass. You might have to tee it up half a lap early like we saw some of the drivers yesterday. It's a great track. Fantastic.
Here's how the ladder is shaping up. We filled in those front row spots. Ollie Eriksson gets pole, Robin Larson next to him. So 2 Swedes are locked and loaded. Hopefully we can have some words with them, get them up here in the booth, talk about this track, and talk about round 6 Nitro Rallycross.
Hey everybody, it's Austin Cindric out here for a very fun weekend in the desert. Getting back to my rallycross roots here at Wild Horse Pass and trying out the FC1 for the first time, all electric. A lot more jumps than when I raced rallycross in the past, so the tracks are spectacular, the cars are insanely quick, and I'm going to take you around for a lap in practice. Here we go, start finish straight now. Going into turn 1, big sweeper to the left hand, keep it in 3rd gear the whole time, good to get it rotated, keep it tight to the tire bundles, and then to the gap jump, first gap jump I've ever done. Right to a step up, probably one of the most challenging jumps that I just completely overshot and got into the fluff, but that's probably the hardest jump on the circuit, hardest one for me to figure out. And then you got the under, getting really tight to the berm, getting right out to the outside to get that tight turn in for turn 4, getting closer to the tires there. And then another step up, we're gonna hit the joker this time, hang it to the left, keep it nice and tight. This is probably one of my favorite sections of the track here because you kind of fall off of a crest. It's a really long, decreasing radius corner, keep it tight to the tires, and then you flick it back, downshift into 2nd gear. Once again, keep it tight to the tire bundles, use a little handbrake over the crest, wheel spin, back up to 3rd, and that's a lap at Wild Horse Pass. So a lot of newness for me with all the jumps, more corners than jumps it seems like, but it's been a lot of fun slinging these cars around, and thanks to Joe Blaster and Dixon and OMC for making it happen.
Nitro Rallycross is brought to you by A-Shock, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. Smirnoff Ice Smash, full flavor unleashed. Gila River Resorts and Casinos, it's time to own your moment.
From TQ to checkered flag, you win that pole position as you win your heat race. You picked the 5-car race over the other one. Was there some strategy behind that?
Yeah, for sure. You wanted less cars that could potentially damage your chances. So, yeah, it was the pick there. Worked out. I mean, yeah, the guys have fixed the car to perfection today. I had some damage yesterday from some contacts and stuff, but car was on rails. I mean, I just had to do the job. Start was great. I could manage through any change in grip levels and everything. So, yeah, car does exactly what I want, and yeah, now we're on pole.
The Eriksson brothers were the 1-2 punch in this race. How nice was it to have your brother behind you, knowing that you got to do a little teamwork, but also knowing he has your back?
Yeah, for sure. I knew he has my back. I heard him already out of turn 2. He was right there. So from there on, you know, I knew, you know, I needed to keep the speed, you know, to keep him out of trouble as well. You know, just kind of drag each other along. And but I know, yeah, they had to get through 2 Erikssons to beat us now. So that was a good one for sure.
Top qualifier, you're in that pole position. You're straight through to the finals. So you're going to go check out your competition?
Yeah, for sure. I need to see how the track develops as well, you know, the blue girl and everything. But it's a hot day here in Phoenix, so I will try to cool down a bit for the final.
All right, appreciate your time. Congratulations again.
Well, not only Group E, of course, here this weekend, we've got side-by-sides coming up for you shortly. Demi Bagby's been racing in that. Let's take a look at yesterday. She had quite the role in Turn 1. Not ideal, Jared, was it really?
No, she's known for doing gymnastics flips outside of the vehicle. You don't want to do it here. She's really gaining some confidence as far as motorsports, her driving. The Radford Racing School is here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park, and she's getting a lot of seat time. But unfortunately, you know, for her flipping that, you know, it kind of shook her a little bit. The cage got a little bent up. Ideally, I believe the car is fixed, strapped down, everything, and should be back out there once again.
So that wasn't ideal. Even less ideal is, unfortunately for her, she had to spend some time with Tommy. And apparently she was going to teach Tommy to do some legendary gymnastics or something. Let's have a look.
Something is more like it.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm down here in the paddock again, and I'm telling you, Nitro Rallycross does not just attract the coolest race car drivers, it attracts the best people in general. I'm talking about the coolest, most talented, understanding balance, something that I've know nothing about, but I got Demi here. She's a
What's up, y'all?
Professional awesomeness. I'm telling you, you got an impressive page. Your social media is out of control. You are like a phenom. Are you sure you're from this planet?
You know, we're still a little bit unsure, but I'm wondering if we're unsure whether you can do a handstand or not.
See, I'm from this planet, but you got to show me. You got to show me what. I need a demonstration. Can you do it on this rim?
Seen him do some dirt bike stuff, but can he do a handstand?
Yeah.
I don't know who brought this wheel out here for you to try this for your first time, but
I'm going.
I got one tip for you.
What?
Full send, all right?
All right, full send. All right. So how do you do that?
Press on those shoulders. Keep it here. You can bring your legs up if you want, but you gotta go all the way.
How are you like pressing?
All the way.
You're like pressing that.
It's full send or no send, all right?
Full send, no send. All right.
Grab where you feel comfortable. You gotta do a big kick up.
Big kick up.
All the way. There, higher. Again. Oh, he's going. Uh-oh, this poor golf cart. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
What's up? Let's go.
All right, guys, we're calling it for a day. See you later.
Tommy's doing flips. Demi's doing flips on the track. What's going on, man?
I think Tommy's hoping for 2 million followers or whatever it is. I don't know if doing a slightly off handstand against a golf cart is going to get you there, Tommy.
Dude,
but he's a legend anyway.
Legend. You know how
Google
many people here? I'm walking through the pits. They're like, my homeboy Tyler's like, dude, I saw Street Bike Tommy.
Yeah.
That guy's legend.
He is a legend.
Broke his back. You know what I mean? Just all that. But I mean, I'll tell you, the variety of fans that are here, the variety of drivers on the track, absolutely, that's great. Demi Bagby, she's out there. Notably, Leticia Bafani, you can see her up there, 13. She just dropped that sky grind. Did you watch the video?
I did, dude. It was amazing. And then she put the behind the scenes stuff on her Instagram. It was cool, man. You don't, they're building the ramp on the ground and then open the back in the air. Just wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the variety of fans here. You know, you get the 2 wheels, you get the 4 wheels, you get fans of like, I've never seen anything like this. A lot of them have seen the Can-Am X3. Now, keep in mind, this is our celebrity race, so it's really cool. But I mean, there's some serious talent here. Amanda Sorensen, the first female to get on the podium. This is our Nitro side-by-side celebrity invitational. They're all running Can-Am X3s, and you got to think, this is a spec class. They're all running Yokohama tires. They're all in Can-Am X3s. Leah Block, you might know that last name. Well, her dad, Ken Block, obviously creator of the Gymkhana videos and that whole franchise, and whipping around Audis, most recently Electricana. Right next to her, you got the 77. You got Lawrence in the building. So again, just a variety of drivers, both on track and off track.
Great cars these are. We saw some fantastic battles, didn't we, at Glen Hellen, between Travis again,
Deegan. They're not here.
No, they're not. So it's kind of opened it up a little bit because they were not in a class of their own, but they were out front a lot.
Here we are, 30 seconds to side-by-side action. Let's get loud and let's get ready to send it. And here is our starting grid. We will see all 9 vehicles in the final, but we are looking at Gregor Michaud, Robin Shute on the front. You got Leah Block and Scotty Lawrence. Ben Mayer, 13 years old. BJ Baldwin, 8-time off-road champion. Jim York, Leticia Bafani, and Demi Bagby. 10 seconds to go. NITRO, let's go and send it. There's BJ Baldwin, that number 97 Black Rifle Coffee Company vehicle.
So it was Scotty Lawrence who won from Gregor Michaud last time out. Robin Shute doing well to be up on the front row. Come a long way since DRX when he went end over end. Doesn't get quite such a good start as Michaud does on the inside. Scotty Lawrence making a big move across and slamming the door to that inside line. He's in the 77. He's currently sort of P2, P3. They don't do the A-Shock Energy big air gap jump, so they just take this shortcut line and head up to the back of the circuit. But what they do is some awesome jumps. These things, they're a bit lighter. Coming up over the start-finish line in particular, they are wild when they head up there. Michaud has gone straight to the Joker from the lead. Robin Shute has not, and I think that's the right thing to do. Look, 5 people have gone in. He must do a good lap now, because you don't want to come, as you say, in the zipper with that amount of traffic.
And I'll tell you what, Robin Shute has really gained some more confidence. We keep talking about that. Seat time, seat time, seat time. Robin Shute, I mean, keep in mind, he is a Pikes Peak champion. Is that BJ Bald? No, that is Michaud. Michaud comes into the zipper, and he finds himself right there next to Scotty Lawrence. Scotty and Michaud going wheel to wheel. And Scotty goes on the roof. He slides 1, 2, 3 times, loses a tire, and that's going to be all she wrote for Scotty Lawrence, who's a serious contender for winning this event.
Oh, they got red flag straight away as well, so that was a fair old shunt, wasn't it? There was a lot of people moving left and right through that section. Shame for Robin Shute. Everything was going well for him at the time. Good to see him out front. It's such a different discipline. You know, you don't win Pikes Peak 3 times if you're not an absolute legend. It does that in the car, which is the chassis is a wolf, but it's actually known as the Big Bad Wolf, which is cool. And that was on display at Glen Helen last time out on the Yokohama tyre stand, because he used Yokos, didn't he, for his runs up Pikes Peak. He's desperate for a crack at the overall record. It's held by Loeb and the Peugeot. Then it moved on, and it's Dumas and the Volkswagen, the IDR. And he reckons he can beat it. Him and his little team reckon they can beat it. But he also reckons he fancies to go at Rallycross, and so he's here learning the dirt. And he's right up on the front row. Mega.
All right, so the red flag, that means a full course stop, making sure that Scotty Lawrence is okay. He's he obviously went end over end, lost a wheel, make sure he's okay, and we will restart them. So that's a full course red. Thanks for joining us out here. Nitro Rallycross, the doubleheader weekend. We had round 5 under the lights. That was going down Friday night, and then yesterday we had the battle brackets for TQ. Oliver Ericsson got it in Group E, but we have a doubleheader when it comes to side-by-sides and NRX next. So you have 3 classes racing overall, all spec class. They're all running the same equipment, from the 1,000 horsepower all-electric FC1X vehicle all the way to NRX Next, and then of course the side-by-sides, the Can-Am X3s. All right, so as we are getting that full course red, we will see, make sure Scotty Lawrence is okay. So Scotty will have to retire from this semifinal. And taking a look at today's schedule as far as lay of the land, we have our side-by-side semifinal. Side-by-sides have an LCQ, and that's all just about position where you're at in the grid. We're gonna see all 9 vehicles out there on track. But when it comes to Group E and the electric cars, 11 entries. Keep in mind, we're only gonna see 8 of them in the final. So there's 3 cars watching from the side. I had some words with Chase Elliott most recently, 2020 NASCAR champion. He says his rear end's feeling better. The jumps for him and Austin a little tough, but he says he's feeling the flow. Again, just seat time, getting familiar with the car. Chase's his difficulty more than anything is the all-wheel drive aspect. It's not about the dirt. Scotty Lawrence is okay, so there he is outside of the car. Round of applause for the 77, Scotty Lawrence. We'll get that vehicle off. You can see him there going into safety, taking a look at it again. So what went wrong here? Went on his side?
A bit of contact between the two, isn't it? And then sideways down the road, never ends well, unfortunately. Wheel off that. These cars are all prepared by Scotty, so he's going to have to... Oh, there you go, look. Bicycling just for a moment. He was alongside Michaud, super close in with them. Robin Shute was leading and was about to go Joker from the looks of things. If you look at the rear of the shots, here they are. Look, and this is the thing with open wheels. They touch wheels and you just get launched a little bit. He got a bit sideways. He had to move across because the tyre barrier was there, side by side. Racing incident, I think, but there we go. Look, there's the tiny bit of contact. Does he get launched? Yeah, he does. Yeah, he gets fired by the front left to front right contact there, basically. And over. And then sideways on. No major hits on the roll cage. That's the biggest one. So that car won't be going any further today, because I think the front A pillar will be down on that. So, but he's all right. That's the most important thing. And the side-by-sides are actually really cost-effective to run, and that's not true of all motorsport, I can assure you. So,
All right, so we'll get Scotty Lawrence there off course, but Elisa, another member of our team, is down there with our current points leader, Mr. Robin Larson.
Larson, you advanced straight to the finals. A couple of guys are going to keep racing. What are you looking to learn from them?
Yes, try to like see how the track is developing, and of course the starting positions. Starting P2 in the finals gonna be tricky, but let's see how all the guys working around that and how they approach the first corner and out of the first corner. So just try to look how they do, and yeah, hope for the guys to get to the final now after the semifinal.
Track conditions were something that a lot of the guys were talking about. The first one had a lot of grip, but how do you expect the track to be as you head into it again?
I think it was pretty tricky now. We didn't like push really hard. We need to do that in the final for core, of course, but hopefully it will be a little bit more grippy so we can really take that fight and not be afraid to going in the ruts and the holes. So yeah, and hopefully we don't get that blue groove, but we'll see. It's the same for everybody, but I think the racing will be a lot more better if we get a grippy track.
And I'm looking here, you called your first race the perfect race, but you said that that P2 position is a little trickier than you would like it to be. With the blue groove concerns, how do you hope to get a jump on that?
Yeah, it's the car and me worked pretty good on the blue groove also, but it's just so easy to do those mistakes, and it's gonna be also really easy to do the mistakes when you're 8 cars into the gap jump and then the step up and you don't have that grip to brake on, and that's will be an issue. But of course, and hopefully some drivers are see what happened in Friday, and then we can learn from that. But yeah, it's a lot of good drivers there, so I just hope we can drive clean on the final and get some good points.
All right, Larson, appreciate that. Guys, hopefully we don't have some slip and sliding here in the desert, right?
Slip and sliding in the desert. Well, it is getting a little dry here. Talking about the blue groove, that's where, you know, starts to get hard packed. It's sometimes slippery, it's sometimes grippy, just depending on kind of the heat, the elements. We talk about the shuffleboard. When it is compact, you get that dust on there. That's like your local shuffleboard at your bar, right, where you kind of slide it across. That can happen to these vehicles. So we got the 49 there as we're taking a look. Again, rack 'em, stack 'em, and track 'em here with our side-by-side. That is Robin Schut, who was leading up until that point. Joining us in the booth, Mr. Ollie Eriksson. Ollie, you got a smile on your face right now. You wear like a bad suit. When you're upset, I can tell you're upset. When you're happy, you obviously look happy. But here we are. We're getting ready to send it here with side-by-sides. Ollie, don't go anywhere.
Here we go. So yeah, we had a restart thanks to that shunt for Scotty Lawrence. He had a good start from row 2, but our row 1 drivers remain. So Robin Schut on the outside, Gregoire Michaud on the inside line. Are they going to get away as well as they did last time? Schut was leading. He'd be disappointed if he can't pull that off away from the line. Great reaction time by him. Moves across immediately towards Michaud, but Michaud's wise to that. Robin knows, slots into the inside line. Trying to make that outside move as well. Side by side, he is alongside Michaud again, but he's going to have to go the long way around through that right-hand kink. Michaud leads, Robin Schut up. Now Schut last time, Michaud went Joker straight away, and Schut headed out to the outside line. So it's pretty much a carbon copy of the front 2 at least.
Yeah, Robin Schut, again, just finding that secret sauce. I love the way that Robin Schut is just gaining and really look. I mean, just look at the confidence, the way he's sliding around as side by side as Can-Am. Ollie, joining us here in the conversation. Cole, you got a question?
Yeah, man. You see everybody running a bit wide there. We were talking over lunch about track conditions, and you're saying they change lap by lap. Here comes the merge just quickly coming around the outside line. Schut's right behind. I think he's got a Joker straight away. Maybe he can get him.
Yeah, for sure. As I said to you earlier, the track changes every lap. So actually the Joker has slipped up quite a lot from yesterday, so it's a lot more blue groove in there.
So Schut wasn't close enough, Jared. He was super close at the merge and then dropped a few car lengths. He now needs to get right onto the back of Michaud. Remember here, everyone, the Yokohama Joker lap is shorter, so you've got to be right behind, because the delta something like half a second. If you're not right on the tail of the car in front of you, you won't get the overlap. And at the minute, Michaud's got a few car lengths.
All right, taking a look at the splits here. 1 second behind is Robin Schut. Ben Mayer, the 13-year-old, sitting in third. Leah Block just about 2.2 seconds behind Leticia Bafani. She's 4.5, so she's got a lot of ground to gain here. But again, Michaud seems to be the fastest, but Robin Schut still has that Yokohama, and they're saying that Robin, according to that Yokohama Tire Joker predictor, that Robin Schut will not gain that position against Michaud, and this is all about placement for the finals.
I wondered what was happening in the background there, Joe. We just cut in. Here comes Michaud now about to jump into the stadium. I think we were seeing BJ Baldwin. Whereabouts is Robin Schut? Right-hand side now of your screens. Coming in, Robin Schut coming in hot. Wants to try and hold on to P2, but loses that. So Ben Mayer has managed to get through. It was Mayer who tried that outside line in turn 1. Currently holds P2 behind Michaud. Ollie, great job earlier on. You won your heat and you're straight onto pole from the TQ. I mean, that was also a great job. What we're hoping for, we're hoping for better than earlier this year when you didn't manage to translate it.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a good weekend. We've done the job well, and we head into a Nitro Rallycross final. So you can't predict anything really. We just go in, do our best, and everything can happen.
Friday night was really interesting for you. You kind of got into a tussle here and there, and just talking about equipment. You and your brother have the most seat time in this FC1Xs more than anybody. How do you think they're holding up against this track? This track is just unlike anything you've seen, and you've been racing Rallycross for a lot of years. But what do you think of this track?
Yeah, this track is really nuts, to be honest. We have so much airtime. We have step-ups into corners, and obviously when the blue groove comes, it makes for some weird racing. So
yeah. All right, so here are the results. Here as the Stars and Stripes are waving, a Canadian flag waves the highest. Michaud gets first, Ben Mayer in second, Robin Shute in third. All right, Leah Block, Bafana York, Baldwin Bagby, and Lawrence. So there we have our side-by-side semifinals. Next up will be LCQ, and that's all about placement, right, Coley? There, as far as where they get staged, we'll see all 9 side-by-sides.
Yeah, no, we won't. I don't think it depends whether or not Scotty's car can be repaired or not. So he had a shunt, but we're actually going to take a look back at some of the moments from yesterday, which were a little more controversial, I guess. Don't shoot him, Jack. Don't shoot the pole man. Okay. Not the pole man. Anyone else is fair game. So these are the big moments from yesterday. So the drivers and the stewards have had a meeting this morning. Basically, the team managers actually asked the stewards, look, we're having too much contact, places like Glen Helen, lots of damage being done to the cars. We want a few more penalties. The drivers want to race hard. If you're going to make a move, you've got to try and squeeze. There, that was Ollie. Well, okay, Ollie, Travis, that was you on
he's smiling right now.
He's smiling.
He wasn't smiling in the car.
Travis did say, I definitely hit. You hit him back, but as he pointed out, he said, I definitely hit him harder than he hit me. What's your take on it, mate? We know you all want to race. We want you to race as well, but there has to be a line, and it's hard to draw. It's really tough job for the stewards.
Yeah, for sure. We have to draw a line somewhere. We're out there banging doors, but obviously I think we all can agree that just taking another car out is not what we want to do, any of us. But sometimes it happens, and then you need to get penalized for it. So
Chris Meek, I think, broke a few of the rules that have been agreed between the drivers, kind of. It certainly have been agreed this morning. Basically, there was contact on the gap jump. It was moving a tyre bale. And so you guys are kind of trying to go, this is the bubble which is cool, this is the bubble which is not cool. Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure, and some drivers are new into this as well. Chris is super fast straight up there already.
So good, isn't it? Yeah.
But Rallycross is tough to race on, so it's a lot of get used to.
Yeah. Is it cool racing people like Chris? I mean, World Rally Championship event winner, he's a legend, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. Back in Europe, we know him as a legend, as you say, and having to race him and beating him is a lot of fun.
Awesome. Big crowd here. Stay with us.
All right, the wind kicking up a little bit. That's going to kind of dust things off. Also keep temperatures cool. The sun was pretty intense. It was pretty hot, but we got a lot of things going on in the pits as well, Coley. What's going on there?
Elise has been out speaking to some of the drivers, getting some opinions. So let's hear from Elisa and the drivers earlier on today.
Here with Chris Meek, and obviously yesterday was kind of a very confusing day. Towards the end of the day, your race ended up calling a penalty on that. It was deemed illegal. What are your thoughts on what happened yesterday?
I couldn't believe it because there was such a long delay to make the decision. Nobody even thought there was a decision to be made. Travis accepted that I had beat him. Everyone left the racetrack happy, and all of a sudden 40 minutes later it flared up that they give me a 5-second penalty. So I couldn't understand it, because for me it was, I'd set the move up, tried to set up for nearly a lap in advance, and I got close to him and I was able to get up the inside. Travis created a gap. Yes, we rubbed doors on the exit, but I already had the front, so it was difficult to understand. And so all the drivers, we got together with the stewards who were making the decisions, and I think they went a bit over the top on what you need penalised for, because on a track like this you simply it's nearly impossible to pass without rubbing a door, so we need to allow racing, but it still needs to be kept in check. You can't do anything deliberate, but I thought I made a clean move yesterday. So like Rallycross, we know it's a build up over your weekend, your results to get to your grid positions for your heats and semi-finals and so on. So unfortunately there's no comeback for me. I started now in a really bad grid position this morning in the heat. put me mid-pack, got punted off by Fraser, broke my drive shaft, and now I start at the back of the semi-final. So it shows you how a simple decision like that ruins the rest of my weekend, you know. So all we want is good, clean racing, and I thought that's what we had yesterday. So it was disappointing, but hopefully stewards and everyone and drivers can learn from it, and we can move forward and create better racing.
Well, as we've seen here, anything can happen, so best of luck on the rest of the day, and hopefully we see you in the finals.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, the desert is a dangerous place. You got rattlesnakes, you got scorpions, you got black widows, you got tarantulas, and you got a couple Swedes on the front. You got Ollie Eriksson and Robin Larsson, and again, Robin Larsson notably is our points leader after 5 rounds of competition. Ollie Eriksson, where do you stand right now? What's going on? What's going through your head? A lot of racing. Remember, snow and ice. You guys are from Sweden. You're familiar with that. How excited are you to go to Canada after this round?
Yeah, it's going to be so awesome. You know, they're looking into what the tires will look like and everything.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm very technically involved, and I want to know what's going on there. So it will be fun to see what's going to happen for sure.
I'm excited.
I've seen the tyres. Well, I saw the first iteration of them, and dude, the spikes on them were more than an inch long.
Sick.
I think we might be going slightly short than that. But put it this way, you definitely don't want to get run over by one,
right.
ever, but particularly not with the spiked tyres on.
All right, what's at stake here, Coley? As we go into our semifinals, we saw Ollie Eriksson, who's here with us in the booth, Robin Larsson. Positions, what's going to happen here if you win, if you get second?
So top 2 from each of these semi-finals will go through to row 2 and to row 3. So the second place driver in each semi will get row 2 and the third place driver row 3. Anyone else goes to the LCQ.
And here we go, 30 seconds to go. Fraser McConnell on the front, Andreas Backrud right next to him. Second row, Austin Cindric and Chase Elliott, the NASCAR boys, 2022 Rookie of the Year, and Chase Elliott, 2020 champion. And then Chris Meek bringing up the rears. We were just talking about him, a phenomenal racer, rally driver. But when it goes wheel to wheel, maybe a little bit aggressive, but you love it.
Let's see how he gets on trying to pass 2 NASCAR legends. They'll know how to keep the door shut, but they'll also have their eyes forward on these 2, Fraser McConnell and Andreas Backrud on the front row. Fraz desperate to get himself through and see if he can get another win like he did at Glen Helen. Backrud will want to keep that championship tight with Larsson as well. Here we go. Elliott with a good reaction time in the background, looking like he can get through the gap and just get squeezed immediately. Backward gets run up really high. Chris Meek going to come down low. Fraser McConnell going to get the whole shot here. Meek's past 2 cars immediately. Andreas Backward up into P2 over the top there. Meek's in between on the outside of the 2 NASCAR drivers. Going to have to come down tight backwards, so sideways. Oh, Meek looks up the inside, going to pass 2 as he just doesn't quite make it.
Wow, they were 3 wide going over that A-shock jump, and now Fraser McConnell out front, the Jamaican. Backward sitting in second. Chase Elliott, the NASCAR driver, sitting in third. Cindric and Meek bringing up the rear. So Fraser McConnell gets all that clean air. He's throwing up the distance. Look at that, Chase Elliott. So a few of them going for that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. That's talking about Fraz. Look at the attitude of Chase Elliott. Seems a lot more confident up there. So Chase Elliott, Meek, and McConnell.
Top 2 went in straight away. Meek looks quicker than Elliott here. He's keeping it tidy in behind. He's got to find a way through. Now makes a mistake in the dust as they come back in. Lost a lot of time in fact. Where's Chris gone? Chris, he is still there.
He is back there.
No, he's on the go slow. Problem for Chris Meek.
Fraser McConnell out front, Backrud in second, Chase Elliott in third. You want to be top 2 to guarantee yourself into the finals. Yeah, you'll be second row or third row, but guess what? Again, fourth row, the LCQ winners got second and third on Friday night's party.
Yeah, they did. So the further up, the better, but it can be done from anywhere. Ollie, Fraser's done so much work with you guys at OMSC. You know, he drove you for a long time. Looking at the minute like Chase Elliott won't make it through at this point, but what do you think about Fraz? He describes you two as his Swedish brothers, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we've known each other for so long, and yeah, just seeing him getting to grips with F1X here is impressive as well. You know, I know what he can do, and he's showing it for all of us now.
His progress has been amazing over the last few years, coming up through the support categories like NRX. Next, we've got here, he came up through the American series that was prior to this, and top 2 going through from this. At the minute, McConnell and Backward going to make the cut, but I've been very impressed by him, and he's leading again here. He could be a threat to you in this afternoon.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's super quick, and as Manny doesn't know, he's not so old in the sport. You know, he's quite new. He did his first event, I think, in 2019. So yeah, to see him, you know, how he reads the track and everything is a very, very good job. Nice guy.
So Fraser McConnell by 1 second from Andreas Backerud, 3 seconds back to Chase Elliott. You ride on board now with McConnell, flicking the car over to the right-hand side. Small inputs, you flick it back again. Watch this. There'll be left foot braking going on here as well, just to get rotation on the car. 1 lap to go. Everybody has to a joker by now. Mick's some 15 seconds back. It looks like he's not circulating anymore, so Mick's the only one who won't joke, because I don't think he's going to finish up over those huge jumps. There's the white flag to tell them it's the final lap.
Fraser McConnell strong out front, Backerud, Chase Elliott 3.2 seconds. It is all going to be Fraser McConnell and Andreas Backerud, and just on paper, that's how, just again, seat time. So Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric might be a little more comfortable, but you're going against 2 racers that, again, are just in contention. Andreas Backerud notably sitting in second coming into this round, or after round 5, and he did gain some ground on Larson with his lackluster performance Friday night.
Little mistake there from McConnell in the right hand. You saw he just had to change the aptitude of the car slightly, but luckily he's got enough of a margin over Andreas Backerud. Jamaican driver looking out through the side windows. That's how we like to drive. Mid-driver, as they say. He's going to come up over the big jump into the arena. Fraser McConnell going to book a slot on row 2, and Andreas Backerud on row 3. You see the crowd in the background. There'll be some Jamaican flags up there too.
Feel the rhythm, feel the ride. Come on now, it's Fraz time. He gets in that second row. We see Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric there. There's Fraser McConnell listening in with him.
Well done, man. How was yours? I didn't know to tell you guys. Big up.
Big up. Love it. Shout out to you guys. Big up. All right. So, again, Jamaica, notably cool runnings. He's got the egg on the back of his helmet. He's protecting the egg, and he's going to protect it. Definitely going to the finals. He won in Glen Helen, and that was a perfect event for him. He got that TQ, and then he eventually won the event, and that seems to be the trend, getting that TQ. As Ollie's sitting with us, he got that top qualifier. Can he produce a big, heavy trophy that is an overall winner? We'll find out. But Fraz and Andreas are going to the finals in row 2 and 3. Let's take a look back at it. Anything stand out to you, Ollie? I mean, that was a crazy start.
Yeah, Chase got a super start from there, and just tried to back it in. Wasn't quite enough the cushion there. Obviously, Backerud and Fraser, getting the job done through turn 1, keeping it clean. 2 of the championship contenders, they need to be up there, so they got the job done for sure.
Take a look at that. I mean, just so many different entries on that turn 3, as we talked about. That kink and then going up and over the jump, Coley.
Yeah, you saw Meek there almost stopping the car on the handbrake to get a rotation done early and try and get them on the exit, but it wasn't enough. He was just a bit too far back to try and close down that gap on the 2 NASCAR guys in front, and then had some sort of a problem. But so slippery. Mistakes are going to come in with the blue groove, and I actually quite like that, because it gives the... Ollie won't like it quite as much. It's super hard to judge the grip levels.
Yeah, for sure. As well, I think everyone can see how much it changed between laps here. You saw turn 1, turn 2, up to turn 3. It changes between every lap, and you just have to read it as you go along, and I hope you have the right speed into it.
Fraser McConnell then with the checkered flag. He goes through, and so does Andreas Backerud.
Congratulations to Fraser McConnell and Andreas Backerud. Next, we go to the other semifinal heat. Again, we'll take the top 2 from those, and they will be second and third row in the finals. Again, 11 vehicles entered. Only 8 are going to be in the finals. I'm loving this track. I think it's just really cool, just all the different undulations. And we've seen it just change from, Travis is saying if you over wet it, he's kind of here for it. Travis says, I think if it's completely wet, you have many different options as far as line. What do you think about that?
Yeah, for sure. With this heat that is here now in Phoenix, the blue groove picks up quite quickly, and honestly yesterday for the batters we had kind of similar track, and then they put a lot of water on it, the grip came back.
Yeah.
So I've never had a water track with more grip than it was dry. So
right, that's kind of a weird thing. And again, this is that American dirt, man. You throw some more water on it, gets stickier. I don't know what you got in Sweden, but I actually do. We saw it at obviously we saw it earlier this year, so I do know what you have, and it's been exciting. So as we go back to our another semifinal, 4 racers, only 2 will get locked into the finals. 30 seconds, let's get loud. Who is going to move on? Is it going to be Ollie's brother, Kevin Erickson, who's on pole? His daughter's in the building, your niece, Ollie. You got Connor Martell on that front row, that Vermont sports car, My Energy Excite vehicle. TP, Travis Pastrana, 199. He won Friday night. And then Ollie Bennett rounding out the quattro of vehicles. There's the 199, the Power Plus Vermont sports car vehicle.
Ollie Bennett had such a good day, didn't he? On Friday, was right up there in qualifying. Since then, he found himself towards the back of the grid. Meek's been back there too, so Excite Energy Racing in need of a bit of a change of luck. Both the BSC cars in this one, Will Martell and Pastrana, play together. From the drone off the start, great start. Kevin Eriksson blown the others away. Martell went absolutely backwards there. Ollie Bennett trying to come around the outside. Pastrana's trying to get up the inside line. You see, run out a little bit wide, a little bit more wheel spin, you're away. Pastrana into an easy P2 here. Kevin Eriksson get a lead up towards the whole shot contact. Travis runs a bit wide. Is he going to lose a place on the exit inside line? Conor Martell passing Ollie Bennett on the exit. Now they're looking like they're in a line. Pastrana, I thought, was going to have a cheeky look there on the run into the undercut.
This is where it's going to get dicey. You know, you have two teammates fighting for that number 2 spot, right? Because right now, if the race ended, Martell has to go to the LCQ. So speaking of Martell, Bennett, both are going for the Yokohama Tire Joker
It's
lap.
unusual that the leader hasn't gone. Ollie, why didn't Kevin go on the first lap? Normally you Joker straight away. Why?
Yeah, but as we've seen the earlier heats here, actually the right-hander of the Joker is starting to slip up because of blue groove. So I think you're actually losing a bit of time going Joker now.
There we go. You see, that's the insight we need. So Kevin Eriksson not gone, and as you can see, they end up slightly further behind. So the delta now then maybe slightly slower, maybe exactly the same. Either way, perhaps we'll see some different tactics, Jared, which would be nice, to be honest.
Yeah, and again, this is what we're talking about. This thing is absolutely an Autobot. It's a Decepticon. It's all the Transformers, man. This thing is just changing in front of our eyes from, again, that blue groove being slick to being tacky. The marbles, the cushion, all of it playing a role. Again, it's you with machine versus the track and the other racers. That Olsberg's Dixon vehicle now goes for that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. You talked about that delta. What do you think we're going to see, Coley?
Bennett's actually taken 3/10 off the leader in that last sector, so the gap's come down from 2.3 to 2.1. That won't be enough, but Kevin's gone in now. Where's he going to come out? Pastrana coming up into the arena now, so watch for Travis and watch for Kevin on the inside line. Travis clearly out in front, so there we go. It's definitely not a shortcut right now, the Joker lap. So Travis is going to have to go this lap, of course.
Yeah, Travis has to take the Yokohama Tire Joker lap because you can't take on the last one. Where it kicks you out is beyond the finish line. So Travis is going to take that. Kevin's going to try to get as close as possible, right, Ollie? I mean, he's got to be right there on his back bumper.
Yeah, for sure. He wants to close the gap as much as possible. Obviously, Travis is really good when it comes to blue groove, and so I think Kevin learns a lot by being behind as well.
I'll tell you what, super commitment from Kevin in the background there.
This track favors Travis's style. He talks about it. It's a supercross track. So he's thinking more two-wheel as opposed to four-wheel. And the attitude of the vehicle, he's really risking it for the biscuit. You can see, I mean, just how much blue groove and black groove you're seeing out there. There's many different options.
Here it comes, watching for the merge now. This will be for the second row in the grid. Remember, Pastrana's got that inside line. Kevin Eriksson going to try and outbrake him down into turn 1, but Pastrana is there already.
He's even off screen. That's how big of a gap he had on him.
Yeah, good job by Travis, to be fair. So that would see Kevin onto row 3. He'd be a bit disappointed with that, Ollie, I think.
Yeah, for sure. He was out in the lead there. Obviously, Travis must have put in a lap when he needed it. And the top 2 moves on, so as long as you're in the final, I think it would be brilliant.
Yeah, anything can happen.
That's the reality of it, right? Just get into the final. So right now, Martell's on the outside looking in. Ollie Bennett, they want to just get in the final. So Pastrana and Kevin Eriksson, couple more turns. They're locked and loaded. Row 2 and row 3 as Travis Pastrana, that Power Plus Vermont sports car. He got the victory earlier this year in Minnesota. He got the win Friday night at the doubleheader, round 1 of the doubleheader, round 5 of the championship. And Travis Pastrana is going to be row 2 in the finals, with Kevin Eriksson being row 3. All right, coming in now, we got Ollie Bennett and Conor Martell. So unfortunately, Bennett and Martell will be on LCQ.
Wow, that's so slippery out there. Appreciate everything, Noah. That was excellent. Good. All right, we're sitting in a really good spot for that first turn, especially if we stay dry like this, boys. Let's go get another win.
He's after it.
Travis's normal spotter, Dan, at home. They just had a new baby come in, so Dan couldn't join us here. So congratulations to him and his family. He's got Travis, actually, as we see the results here. Travis Pastrana gets the win. He's got Noah Gregson, who's a Black Rifle Coffee NASCAR racer. He's his spotter. Congratulations to Pastrana. He's moving on to the finals.
Good stuff. So 6 of our drivers booked in already. Just the last chance qualifier to come. That's 3 laps, 5 cars, only 2 positions. So what was it you said, Jared? 3 drivers are going to be crying into their beer.
Yeah. Right.
And they can today, because on Friday they couldn't celebrate. Travis, we saw him on Friday, like, dude, you can't celebrate. He goes, oh man, I won the wrong one, because he couldn't have a beer because of the race on Saturday. Go, Jared, is there any buddies? Go on, get him.
Yeah. These gel blasters are awesome, and we get to shoot people when they walk by. You want some of this? There's plenty more where this came from. I'm gonna get. There we go, right over there.
So let's take a look back then at that last one. Off the line, Kevin Eriksson just got a great start. And Conor Martell on the outside, maybe a bit too much wheels. Best start actually was Travis, wasn't it, by far? He closed down so much time, got up onto the inside. Interesting what you said about how slippery it was, and I think you can see that in turn 1, Ollie.
Yeah, you see the blue groove, and you think it would be good grip because it kind of gets dark and black. You would think it grips up, but we polish the top, which makes it super slick. So you see there Kevin rotating, and Travis on the early line. Kevin's car just goes wide and hits him.
And then the dust on top of that as well, just to make it even trickier. The wind has picked up here this afternoon, which is at least meaning the visibility gets cleared nice and quickly.
Well, what got really tough yesterday, and we saw it because of Friday was under the lights, but that sun starts to get low, and then the dust, and that's just it gets tough because you got dust on the windscreen, you try to clean it, you got dust on your visor, it gets tough to see.
Yeah, for sure. It is a big struggle to see. Obviously, you see where the track goes, but obviously seeing where the grip is, that's what we're always looking for out there. And, yeah, it gets trickier as the day goes on, for sure.
What are some other variables that we're just not mentioning? Because, I mean, you're in the car, you're in your own head. It's a game of inches, mostly between your ears, right? Just your brain, your mind, and where you're at. What are some other variables we haven't really spoke about that you as a driver?
Yeah, as a driver, you only pretty much see forward. Our mirrors, at least from my point of view, right. I don't really adjust them because they go, there's so much going on in the car, it doesn't really matter. So just look ahead and hope they don't do anything behind.
Right. All right, the wind is absolutely whipping now, and this is Mother Nature's Zamboni as taking a look at this. Here's our drone shot, getting that POV as they are absolutely rotating right here. But Kevin Eriksson, Travis Pastrana again, 1 and 2. Coley.
Yeah, man, just Ollie's going to have to go soon because I guess you want to start getting ready for later on this afternoon. But you could stay and do a bit of this with us, can't you?
Yeah.
No, he's a talented man, but not that talented. Yeah. Let's just be honest.
So what you and your brother now, what's the score? He goes through, you're on the front row, he's on row 3. When you through as a team, there are some tactics you can use. Will you discuss that now? You know where he's going to be on the grid?
Yeah, both yes and no. I mean, as I said before, it's Nitro Rallycross final, everything can happen. We just have to navigate through 1 and 2. Obviously, Kevin was on the front row yesterday and had a shocker over the step-up jump, so yeah, we just got to navigate through it, and our spotters will just make the tactics as we go along.
Last chance qualifier, who's your money on for that?
Oh, I think Bennett's been looking pretty hot today. Obviously, Chris Meek is there.
Yeah, actually, a word about Bennett. Genuinely, we all know he's not as experienced as you guys. I feel the last 2 events he's made a huge step.
Yeah, for sure. He's right up there on pace. I mean, the battles from Friday where he impressed us all, I think, going all the way to the final. So, yeah, the steps he's taken just in these last couple of events have been pretty impressive in my opinion.
Well, there you go. Good to hear Ollie Bennett getting a tip from Ollie Eriksson,
Yeah, another rung in the ladder, just kind of moving on up. And again, just a lot of the racers, they're getting more and more familiar with the car. And even, again, the stars of NASCAR between Austin Cindric and Chase Elliott. But just so many different elements.
A word, actually, this is the Gel Blaster split screen moment. They've just brought us over a bucket of ammunition. So,
here we go.
So don't walk past the announcing booth if you don't want to get shot by a Gel Blaster.
You shut your mouth, Coley.
Conor Martell actually had a spin there as well. We didn't see that either.
Right
so all good.
All right, Ollie, get out of here, buddy. You got to get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're having fun up here with our Gel Blasters, but again, having some fun with Ollie Eriksson, my man Andrew Coley. But again, Street Bike Tommy and Alyssa. They are Alyssa's with TP right now.
Travis, congratulations. You go on to the finals, but I feel like the talk of the town right now is the track conditions. You have a lot of experience on dirt tracks. You won here last year. You have a lot of experience there again. How have you kind of able to kind of manage that? How does that experience work to your advantage?
Well, it's really interesting because the track that no one else runs is still really good traction, so we can really fly into that. The Joker just got extremely hard packed with all the other vehicles, and as warm as it is with that wind, it's really difficult for those guys to keep the track maintained without getting it too blue groove. The dirt out here in Phoenix is very hard packed, so if they watered it all, it just kind of turns to an ice skating rink. Luckily, we had made some good adjustments. I usually do better when it's more traction. Yesterday was a catastrophe all the way through, but come back today, starting on the second row, it's going to be a good main.
What do some of those adjustments look like?
So for me, like my first heat today, we started at a certain power setting, and that was way too high. I spun, ended up 3 wide outside, went from first row to pretty much last. Battling with Chase Elliott was really fun, but no, it's good. And honestly, they made a lot of adjustments to kind of how they're not judging this, but this is a hard track to make a clean pass. Chris Meek had the greatest, it was perfect. It was flawless. It was awesome. I came out on the losing end of it. We had a rule where you can't hit someone in the air, can't move tire barriers, can't move someone out of the way, can't block someone. He had mild infractions on all of them. We're like, that's racing. That is what Nitro is all about. So we all sat down. Most of the drivers agreed. Most of the team managers did not. We've been doing a lot of damage to these cars, but it is fun, and that is what we're here to do. So good to get the day started off on the right foot again today.
Now you're off to the finals, but speaking of that blue groove, you spoke how the Joker lap is a little more slippery now. Does that change your strategy on when you're going to use that?
Yeah, well, here's the interesting part is that track's going to change, and they might water, and they might get it perfect by the final. As this wind slows down in the evening, they get a little longer break to get that track perfect. We might have the best track we had all weekend, or we might have a blue groove dust bowl, and either way, we have to figure it out, because there's going to be corners that have good traction, corners that have bad traction, and it's the drivers that can adjust the quickest are going to win the race.
We can't wait to see that, Travis. Best of luck. A lot more action to come.
All right, well, thank you, Elisa, excuse me, and Travis Pastrana, congratulations, and you can see the smile on his face. Can he do it again? He won Friday night under the lights, and you know what, we're seeing a variety of drivers. From Travis Pastrana, he's taken a supercross approach to this track. We're seeing the side-by-sides with BJ Baldwin, Leah Block, Leticia Buffoni, I mean, all walks of wheels and life, but you know what, it's great to see the stars of NASCAR, including Austin Cindric, and I had a great opportunity to catch up with the 2020 NASCAR champion in that Accelerator A-Shock vehicle, Chase Elliott, and get a little perspective and get into his head on what he thinks of Nitro Rallycross and the FC1X. We're here in the pits just getting ready, cranking some accelerators, some A-Shock, Chase Elliott, 2020 NASCAR champion. All right, dude, season's over. What do you got till Daytona, man?
Well, you're looking at it right now. But yeah, no, I just really enjoyed being here. Appreciate everybody at Nitro for having me out again. Obviously came out last year, but yeah, been having a lot of fun, and also looking forward to the off season a little bit too.
I'm sure.
Yeah, have some time at home hopefully, and then we start back at the Coliseum right there at the beginning of February.
That's
so
right.
It comes up quick.
Yeah, the Clash of the Coliseum. You were a contender here in the 22 season. Austin Cindric, rookie there. It's great to have you guys here.
Yeah.
All right, like I said, what are you doing in the off season since you talked about being here? How are these vehicles compared to any other vehicle you've driven?
Yeah, man, they're different for sure. I would say the biggest thing for me personally is the car being all-wheel drive. I feel like that's probably my biggest challenge. Yes, the car being electric is different, but I felt like I got used to that fairly quickly. But just the car being all-wheel drive and just the way you kind of position the car and point the car and what you do with the steering wheel is a bit different than what you would do with a car that's rear-wheel drive. So just small things here and there. I feel like I probably didn't look like it, but I feel like I've gained a lot throughout the weekend, which has been fun, and as long as you're progressing, I feel like that makes it enjoyable. When the progression stops, is when the enjoying goes away.
It's a big party, man, and obviously we got driver intros. You're about to get introduced as well. I think it's great, just a variety. So you're joining us in Canada, right? Snow, ice, let's just throw, we got jumps, we got snow, you're joining us in Canada, right?
Maybe.
Okay, I'm no pressure.
It's a hard maybe. We'll see.
It's a hard maybe. Well, again, just getting you here, again, with your accolades in the NASCAR world, and puts a smile on your face. And I think it just adds to your arsenal, right? I mean, is there anything you could take away from Nitro Rallycross and apply it to NASCAR?
And also,
I mean, you can say no.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It's very different, but it's still nice to be able to come out and interact and engage with.
Let's bring the noise for none other than
I feel like there's a lot of NASCAR fans here.
Yeah.
But I also feel like you might tap into a little bit of a potential new fan base.
Yeah.
So I feel like anytime you can take the motorsports world and combine some different areas, it's a win for everyone. Because motorsports should be a bit more unified, I feel like, and I think if you like it, not everything is for you. Certainly understand that, but trying new things and seeing a new discipline if you're a fan coming out for the first time, I feel like should be good and exciting. There's a lot to respect here as far as drivers and teams go.
Well, I love it. You're definitely welcome, and I know the fans either here in the building or watching at home are excited to see the variety of, as you say, drivers. Motorsports needs to be celebrated. Checkered flags are universal, right?
That's right.
All right, my man Chase Elliott, he's going to give it all in his accelerator vehicle and see how he does.
all those dudes have really good wins, but you got
So I'm down here at the DRRJC tent where we're looking at re-prep going on. If you know anything about motorsport, you know that this is the most important tool that they have in the box, and they're actually just using this on this $500,000 race car to fix it up. I'll give that back to you so you can carry on. Fraz, we all know you can fix anything on the FC1X or indeed any race car with tape and tie wraps.
No, for sure, and especially when you're on a tent as good as DRR, they get the job done. It does look, it's seen better days, but it's still fast, and that's what we care about.
And you're still fast as well. You're through to the final, so you must be happy about that. Road 2, I think, for you.
Yeah, and the starting grids have been, so much of a variable the whole weekend. So don't count me out for a race win. I'm going to go for it.
I just saw you having a little discussion actually about where you think the starting positions are. I know pole has been moving a little bit and that affects where everybody else is, and I guess you're just trying to get yourself the best amount of grip you can for that launch. Really important.
Yeah, it's the first gravel starting grid that we've ever done in Nitro. We did last year, but for this year it's the first, especially in these cars that the power is like instant. If you go a millimeter too fast on the throttle, you're just going to light up the wheels, and these Yokohamas dig in quite well, but it's a lot of power going to the wheels.
We've got a couple of sets here. There's the set on the floor. Are these brand new, and then this is a used set? What are you doing? I mean, are you going through choosing what you're going to use? I know you only have a certain amount of tyres per day.
No, we have. We're going through the new set and just seeing what damage we've done on these, but they look quite good. The Yokohamas have been holding up really well this weekend, and it's a lot of driving, and they're doing good.
Super slippery conditions. Wishing you luck in the final. Good luck, Fraz. Come this way. Let's see who else we can find in here. I can see a couple of victims. Excuse me, lads. Thank you very much. We've got Andreas Backrud and we've got Robin Larson here as well. So we'll start with Andreas as he's got up. That was keen, mate. You want to chat, yeah?
Yeah. always, mate. No, I mean, we have 1 hour, 23 minutes, 50 seconds till we're going out. So, yeah, we have some time.
I've just seen he's got a clock. He's not like Rain Man.
Not that I hope that we stand here talking for that long, but yeah.
Mate, we could fill an hour and 20 minutes with gold dust, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So you're through to row 3, but having done what you did in the LCQ on Friday, you're on the back row and you managed to get a podium. I guess you're happy with row 3. You'd want to be further up, but
yeah, for sure. I'm here to fight for the championship, and I always consider myself up top there running. But I've had margins felt that's going towards me this weekend, so I'm first and foremost pleased to be at the final, and then I'm gonna fill my whole car with gel blasters, probably break a few windows and just all the way through.
Leticia Buffoni came past us yesterday and was gunning us down with the gel blasters are everywhere in the paddock, aren't they? So
yeah, I mean, I haven't got one, so and I'm the easiest target in the whole paddock. Everyone's firing at me, and I have nothing to fire with back. So I need a hand grenade or something.
Okay, gel blaster. Don't we have any gel blaster hand grenades? But we've definitely got a gel blaster. Andreas Backrud needs a gel blaster. All right, mate.
Big time.
Good luck later on. Let's have a quick chat with Robin Larson. So Robin is here. Come and have a quick look around this side. We've got on the laptop. I'm going to turn that round. Sorry, they won't let us see, but there's so basically they're comparing onboards. Well, you tell us what you're doing.
I'm just doing what he's told me to do, so I have no idea. It's like we are 3 really good drivers, so we can compare every braking, every throttle out of every corner into the corner. So it's so much data, and it's so good when we are 3 top drivers. So yeah, especially now when it's starting the blue groove, it's even more important to find those small details, how you can do it better, because you're so frustrating when you're on the track and you don't find anything that's working when it's so slippery. So we just need to hammer our heads down and see what we can do for the final, because I think it's gonna be pretty slippery out there after side-by-sides and the next. So it's gonna be a tough one, and position 2 in the start doesn't look that good.
And just out of interest, how long are you going to continue to share data with Andreas when he's only 13 points behind you in the championship?
Oh, we stopped like 2 days ago. Yeah.
Thank you all to these guys. So Elisa is out in the paddock as well. Elisa, where are you at? What's going on?
I'm here in the garage. Thanks, Coley, for tossing it over to me. Now, Cindric, you're racing in the LCQ. We practiced this because I kept switching the letters out, but obviously that's not the position you want to be in. But in round 5, we saw 2 people in the LCQ race and end up on the podium. What's it going to take for you to do the same?
I think I'm at the point in the weekend that I'm determined to get a NASCAR driver into the final. We need to do it. Chase will be on the pole. I've actually got a pretty good grid position, so I'm excited about that, being on the outside. So, yeah, I got some passing to do. I've struggled personally when the track gets really slick, gets the blue groove and dusty. I haven't been able to adapt to that well enough, and I feel like the last heat I did it well enough, or at least the best I have all weekend. So, starting to get in the groove of things, just need the right position on the start. That start is super important, and I think it will be in the LCQ.
All right, well, thank you so much. Obviously, we're... Take a second.
All right, some great insight there from Austin Cindric. He's sponsored by Gel Blast, and we're over here. The only serious one in the building is Ben Mayer right now. Ben, yeah, go ahead. I mean, how's the side-by-side field working out? Again, it is kind of a celebrity shootout. You're a spec class, side-by-side. You don't have a lot of dirt experience, but you have a lot of racing background. What's kind of your accolades? What have you raced previously to this?
I did. I have a side-by-side in my backyard that I drive sometimes.
Awesome.
But it's like through the woods, like at Pastrana Land.
Free riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you live in Annapolis, Maryland. You're right down the street from Travis.
And I did sprint cars, so that's it's drifting a little bit. It's It's not like these, but it's dirt. It's on dirt. It sort of gives me a little experience,
edge. Yeah. It's all about your butt dyno, kind of what you feel comfortable with and all that. What are you making of side-by-sides? I mean, you've joined us since Minnesota. You joined us at Glen Helen, and here you are at, what do you make of this track? How rad is this track?
This is like probably my favorite track that we've done, because it's so flowy. The jumps, I think these are the biggest jumps we've done, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And the track, it's not, the cars are trying to bike and grip flip. It's sort of, it's sliding better, so it makes it a lot better, or a lot more fun and
fluid, more fluid. And also it might be noted that if you're just joining us here, Glen Helen compared to here, they actually lowered the Can-Am X3s, so it seems like your center of gravity, you're able to kind of flick it in, as you say, a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's a lot harder to pass here as well, because we're like single file the entire time. We can't find a way around people, so it's all about that first turn and the joker.
Awesome. Hey, do you think you're going to jump in some NX cars and stuff? Don't go anywhere, Ben. We're going to continue on with the party, but again, Ben Mayer, 13 years old, absolutely shredding out there. He's already locked in for the finals. Hold on. You could just see the dirt accumulating there, and there's so many different lines, would you say? You said it's hard to pass, but I think with that blue groove and also kind of the cushion, that's, you're used to that kind of with sprint cars and stuff like that, but it seems like there's many different options as far as line and what's going on because of so many turns.
Yeah, it's there ends up being a cushion a couple laps in, because the dirt's so soft, and it's allowing us to slide pretty well on the bottom and through the center. If you get up in that fluffy stuff, it still slides pretty well, but it might try and bite a little more.
Yeah.
But in the back section over there, it's like completely different track. It's a lot fluffier through the whole thing. It's not like the hard packed on this side of the track. So it's two different driving styles around both halves of the track.
Coley, what do we got here on track?
Coming up, this is the semi-final for NRX. Next, Casper Janssen on the front with Jimmy Henderson, George McGuinness, Lane Vakela, and at the back, Eric Gordon. It was Henderson, McGuinness, and Casper Janssen in the opposite order to that on the podium a couple of days. Yesterday. Look at McGuinness front row too. Oh my goodness
out of the
me!
gates.
That's the start of the weekend, Jared.
Look at how wet it is. So again, the track is transforming from what we've seen previously with the side-by-sides, the Group E, and now with NRX Next. These hot hatchbacks. McGuinness absolutely gets after it out of the
That was
gates.
styled like that. You know, that's the start of your dreams. He's come from row 2 straight to the front. That is absolutely outrageous. Casper Janssen's gone Joker straight away. I'm not sure I have any answer for him. Wow,
that was sick,
dude.
That was unbelievable. I think he surprised himself with how much grip, right? I mean, to get that much grip out of the gate, do you think that would be contributed to it being wet, Ben? Because this is our first all gravel start. Traditionally, we've been on tarmac from the grip, but what do you think?
Yesterday, turn 1, it was really dry, so we were I tried to go around the top. It was sliding a ton.
Yeah.
So the track's transformed a lot today. I've been able to get into it and dig. So.
Yep.
Ben, you guys have got sponsors, have you? Obviously, we've got Joker Laps, which is something that I guess is pretty new to you since you've joined in with side-by-sides in Rallycross. Have you got a sponsor?
Yeah, my dad spots for me.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. It's Dad, okay? So what's it like having Dad as a spotter? You can be mean because you can say whatever you want about your dad. Is he good?
Yeah, he's a good spotter. He spots for me in my Legends cars. He spots for me in my Miatas. He spots for me in this. He spots for me in most of the stuff I drive.
Okay, so what's the difference in the information? Obviously, the Joker is more about tactics. So what's he telling you when you're in things like the midgets and stuff? What's he saying to you then? Is it about high and low and where people are in the corner?
Yeah, it's always about where people are, if someone's inside of me, outside of me. In these, when to take the Joker. If someone, like in this track, if you want to be on the inside or the outside going into the Joker because someone's right behind you, they can cross over and cut into you.
To know where they're going to be. And talking about that merge, here comes Casper Janssen down the outside line. George McGuinness, though, is there before him, gets a bit of rotation on the car. Before Janssen can get there, Jimmy Henderson in P3, but it is McGuinness that leads after a start. He was fired out of a gigantic gel blaster off the start place. It was unbelievable.
The way he hooked up, it seems like he's already got the spikes ready for Canada here in Arizona. And again, just the 2 Canadian rounds coming up, snow and ice up there in Alberta and up in Quebec. I'm excited for those, but right now, again, some tacky dirt here forming up. You're seeing it actually fly off of the vehicles when they go up and over that step up. There's the finish line, and there is the checkered flag. So McGuinness, Janssen, Henderson, Vakela, and Gordon.
So McGuinness will go straight to the pole in the final. Everybody else will be back for their last chance qualifier, and that will decide where they start that final encounter. But good job by McGuinness. Got the door open. He's looking for some love from the crowd. I should think they'll give him some love just for that start. That was absolutely crazy.
Shreddy, absolutely shreddy, grippy. McGuinness shot out of, like you said, the gel blaster cannon, and this is how it ended. McGuinness out front, Casper Janssen, the only Swede in the mix, Jimmy Henderson, who's a real contender, Lane Vakela looking for that speed, and finally Eric Gordon coming up in 5th. Next up, we will be seeing, we saw the next, we should be seeing some, what do we got next here? Taking a look at the schedule there, Coley.
Side-by-side after this, so yeah, we got the side-by-side LCQ basically, yeah, so that's going to decide their grid positions as well. Right, look at this start. This is the best start you'll ever see all season. I'm guaranteeing that. Because they tried to put the squeeze on him, but he was already through, Jared. Yeah. You know, you see that coming, he's not coming through there. No chance. I'm shutting the door. Too late. He was through. Amazing.
We were watching surfing earlier this morning on social media. It's kind of like just with a wave break here, he just shot right
out of the barrel, wasn't he?
He spat out like really Kai Lenny. So there's the snowplow, Dirtfish, the Yellow Squad, George McGuinness, known for being aggressive, and it came down again yesterday, a doubleheader for NRX Next and side-by-side, both Saturday and Sunday. A doubleheader for Group E from Friday to today, but some awesome driving. Again, George McGuinness coming out on top will get that pole position, and that's going to be a favorable position for him. There's the zipper. Casper Janssen could not catch him. And again, that back 40 motorsports. Talking about Henderson. He's progressing great. There's a gel blaster marketing, Steven. Waving that flag. And here is our O'Reilly Auto Parts LCQ. And this is the O'Reilly Auto Parts LCQ for the side-by-side. Our man Ben Mayer joined us here. He's already comfortably. Now, is this where you take notes? See who you need to steer clear from? See who you need to kind of, get in front of?
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, Also, time to take notes about the track. I mean, they're going to do some maintenance on it, but I can still find out where maybe some ruts are forming or if the track's dry in certain spots and if it's more packed in spots. Or
How old are you, dude?
13.
Super switched on. That's the attitude of a professional driver. You know, watching the feed and still taking in the information. You're killing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben and his family are great. He's got his younger brother out here, his mom and his dad, and they're from Annapolis, Maryland. This is what we're looking at for our side-by-side LCQ. Robin Shute, I'm telling you, look out for him. Leah Block on the front row. That last name you might recognize. Leticia Bafani, absolute shredder on urethane wheels. Jim York joined us from Pit Viper, got that Dixon flannel livery. BJ Baldwin, the Black Rifle, 8-time off-road desert champion. Demi Bagby, and then bringing up the rear, who do we have? That would be Scotty Lawrence. So Scotty Lawrence, who went end over end, lost the wheel. He's in the back of the pack. Or is he?
I don't know if he's there or not.
He's not.
He's not there. No, Jared. He's not,
this
mate.
car's out. That was a nasty flip.
Yeah, it was. Here we go, away from the line. Then great start by Robin Shute on the front row. Good start by Leah Block too. She can move in now and close the door. Somebody on the radio too. I don't think Ken's here this weekend. He was spotting for a last amount at Glen Helen and didn't really like it, has to be said. But yeah, in the background, a couple of people running across the bottom of the A-Shock Energy Gap jump, and it is Robin Shute leading from Leah Block. Is Leah going to go Joker? She does. So she heads off in, and Robin Shute goes to the standard lap. There he is in the number 49.
Robin is just looking so comfortable in those side-by-sides, and he verbalized that to me. He says from Glen Helen to here, he just feels a lot more confident. Leah Block, Bafani, and York all taking the Yokohama Tire Joker lap.
I know that Robin wants to go in an FC1, you know, but he very sensibly, Jared, you know, side-by-sides are much more achievable and a good way to go and learn what the dirt does.
Absolutely.
He's doing that, and then you expect when he jumps in the FC1, he'd be a little bit more ready for it. Yeah. If you just race pavement, it's hard to step across into the dirt. Now, of course, Pikes Peak back in the day had some dirt in it, but it's all pavement
Not since
now.
he's been doing it.
No,
Not
exactly.
since he's been doing it. He is of the asphalt era, hence his Turbo Wolf of Robin Shute. And take a look at some of the footage of what Robin does on the mountain. So you can see the times kind of getting jumbled up there because of that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. So look at that, just 3 quick laps. You have to take it on the second. How's the zipper going to form?
Oh, she's going to strop in just behind Jared. I thought she might get there. Then she goes up high in the dirt. Look, somebody else coming out the Joker into P3.
It's like BJ Baldwin.
Yeah, so Shute and Block and Baldwin now your top 3.
All right, so Shute, Block, Baldwin, and Bafani. Now this is all about configuration. We were talking about 9 vehicles going in, but Scotty Lawrence taking that bad hit. He is not even here in the LCQ. But I'll tell you what, again, Ben Mayer here. We are talking about Robin Shute, Leah Block, BJ Baldwin. Who else is on the front row with you?
George. Gregor.
Yep, Gregor. Yep, Gregor Michaud there. He's going to be on that front row with Ben Mayer, who's joined us here. Robin Shute out front, Leah Block sitting in second. And here's the checkered flag. Robin Shute will get it. Leah Block ripping past, and that just shows you how fast they're ripping. Our man Big P in the crow's nest waving the checkered flag. Congratulations to Robin Shute, but this is all about position. You can't win in the LCQ, bub.
It's a tough race for Big P, that one, isn't it? Green flag on the first lap, white flag on the second one, checkered at the end. He must be knackered.
The wrist work, man.
He's a
wrist work. Do not fight him.
No, Big P will ninja you with those flags.
Paper, rock, scissors, dude. Game over.
Yeah, done.
Boom, boom,
done.
boom.
He's a big dude as well. Get you.
Yep. Here are the results. Robin Shute out front, just behind him, just a little less than half a second. Leah Block, BJ Baldwin, Leticia Bafani, Jim York, and Demi Bagby. So they'll join the other 2 races that we're talking about, Michaud and Ben Mayer. They're on the front row. Let's take a look back at what happened here and some great running here.
Yeah, tell us, Ben. What have you gleaned from watching these 3 laps? What are your thoughts on the track conditions and who you need to watch out for in the final?
The track looks really hooked up right now. I think Robin Shute, he was up there the entire time. Yesterday he was good. He was running about 3rd. He was right in front of me, so he's the person to watch out for. The guys that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, they're good. Leticia Bafani, she's doing real good.
Good stuff. There we go. So Ben preparing himself for later on, a little bit sideways coming out the Joker there. There is your man Robin Shute, and he's just actually rolled right past our announcing booth along with Leah Block. They've both come past. Jared is heading out to try and have a catch up with Leah. Ben Mayer is staying with me. We're going to have a little look at some of the best jumps of the season in a minute. Some great jumps of the season, I think, happening here in Phoenix. A packed house here at Wild Horse Pass in Arizona because we're on round 6. Round 5 was actually here as well. We had 4 prior to that. Been across to Europe as well. We're going to look at some of the best jumps of the season. So over the A-Shock Energy gap jump here. George McGuinness has just come in and fist pumped me for the start of the season. Yeah, fantastic. This was Glenn Helen, of course, just a couple of weeks ago. Such a good variety. Ben, how much would you like to get in one of these FC1s?
Oh, they look so much fun, especially that they can transfer from the electric or the gas to the electric. It's like on the dirt, it brings in a whole new type of, like, you're not just listening to the engine on the dirt because you're listening to, like, at ERX you could hear the dirt, like the roofs from the other car hitting against the other. It was just so cool. And the electric cars adds like a whole nother aspect because the torque on the...
Yeah, the power is there instantly, isn't it? So I guess you have to adjust the way you drive them, and then certainly, and then as well, mate, when we get you one of these, you get to do the gap jump.
Yeah.
You up for that?
Yeah, I can't wait for the gap jump. It looks so cool.
I love that. 13, he can't wait for the gap jump. Ben Mayer, one of our best side-by-side drivers, in here with me, just 13 years old. So Jared's headed off for a little chat. This was the rhythm section at Glen Helen. Joe Blaster, best jumps of the season. We had a jump back at Lydden Hill. We had a gap jump at Strängnäs in Sweden. We've never had a gap jump in Europe before. Nitro Rallycross spreading the gap jump love around the world and bringing it back home to the USA as well. This is our 3rd of 3 rounds. 4, in fact, of course. ERX, then Glen Hill, double header here in Phoenix. 4 American rounds in the middle of the season, and we're off to Canada next. Side by side over that gap jump for Martel and Elliott. Plenty more action to come on these fantastic jumps, and I'm sure a few more as the season goes on. Fantastic.
Joker lap. Can Travis Pastrana advance on to the final? We'll find out. Here comes Kevin Eriksson.
The Yokohama Joker lap is a different distance than your standard Nitro Rallycross track length. This allows strategy to come in. Whether the Joker's faster or slower, you can play it to your advantages. You can use it as offense, you can use it as defense, and you can use it to get some free track if you want to go fast.
On the inside line.
New to the broadcast this year is the Yokohama Joker Predictor Graphic. This is going to give you a little more insight on who's going to come out of the Joker ahead. The Joker lap is always a little bit longer than standard Nitro Rallycross track, and the rule is you have to take it once in every race. Now, if you have 2 drivers battling for the lead, a lot of times the driver in front can block. When he takes the Yokohama Joker lap, it frees up the course for both drivers to drive absolutely flat out, trying to make that couple tenths it's going to take to get in front, potentially win the race.
Oh, spin! Hold on to it, Brad. Light it up!
Here we are down in the pits. I'm catching up with Leah Block. Hair's down, hair's up, but guess what? Amazing racing. When you got that clean air, you seemed a lot more comfortable out there, right behind Robin Shute. That means you're going to be on the 2nd row. How are you feeling out there? How's your experience been with, obviously Glen Helen in here?
Yeah, I mean, good. It's been so fun. Like, thank you to Yokohama for bringing me out here, and I've just been trying to get better and better. This LCQ just tried to make it all the way through.
And for those that don't know, Leah Block, you've been doing some amazing things. Obviously, your dad has given you a platform, but handing over the keys to the Unicorn versus the world. I mean, you've been driving a lot of different vehicles. What's kind of next for you outside of side-by-side, karting? What else are you doing?
Absolutely. I mean, rally, I've been focusing on that last year. We're going to go into season again and, just doing whatever people throw at me.
You're like, whatever. You're kind of like your dad. Whatever you want to drive. And again, her dad can block. But your mom's doing stage rally with you. It's a full family effort. I know your brother's actually racing karts cross town here this weekend. I mean, you guys, whatever you want to drive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what about your sister? She's racing horses.
Well, she races karts too, but yeah, she likes horses.
Yeah. So again, you're karting, you're doing this. What are your expectations? Would you like to get on the podium? I mean, Amanda Sorensen, she was the first female, comes in here yesterday. She has a lot more seat time in side-by-sides. She's not racing here right now, but you'd love to get in the box, right?
Yeah, obviously I would love to be up there and just gotta push and see what happens.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Leah. Obviously, the smile on your face looks great. We'd love to see that trophy there on the podium. Thank you so much. Leah Block here. And I'm going to throw it over to you, Elisa.
right, I'm here hiding with this Joe Blaster, which I'm really excited. I've been using it kind of all day, but I'm going to hand it over to Andreas, who got loaded, but we're going to double load him with 2 guns because we're going to ambush him a bit. Andreas.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
What's better than 1 Joe Blaster? I think 2, because I heard you got a little target on your back. But you know, we're just gonna run away now. We had nothing to do with this, Jared.
Everybody's hammering me all weekend long, so I'm just going to get payback, especially for
Now, guys, we've been following Fraser McConnell's team this entire time. Now, we got an inside look at that with inside the team, so let's take a look at that.
What's up everybody, Fraser McConnell here, and we are at Wild Horse Pass in Arizona for round 6 of Nitro Rallycross, and this is inside the team. Alright, Robin, you get different answers depending on who you ask. If you ask my girlfriend or you ask my engineer, you get 2 different answers. In racing, Robin is get your nose up on the inside, you're door to door, and you're kind of fighting for that position without any huge hits. In rallycross is more acceptable than any other sport. You're not going to get away with doing something reckless or dangerous, but rallycross is a contact sport. People that might be new to racing in rallycross might take a while to get adjusted. At the end of the day, it is a contact sport, and all the drivers have to be okay with that. It is a risk when you do go to make contact with another car. It's not to say that the person being hit is always going to be the one that takes damage. It's equal risk for the person making the contact versus receiving contact. It is a balance that you have to take, and it's probably not always the smartest thing to do. If I'm making a pass, I would rather there be no contact, but if there is going to be some contact, then it is what it is. It might be exciting for the fans to have contact, but it's more difficult to make a pass without contact. You go for the skill points there. So a good example of Robin, my pass with Ollie in the final battle bracket in Glen Helen, that was as close to no contact as you can get. An example of not Robin and outright hit is Ollie Bennett taking me out, but don't put that in there. The ideal pass is no Robin, but if it does have to happen, then it's not the end of the world, and if you're gonna do it to someone, you need to be ready that someone's gonna do it to you. So it's just part of racing.
Nitro Rallycross brought to you by Gel Blaster. Let's take this outside. O'Reilly Auto Parts, professional parts people. And Yokohama Tire. Make every drive a performance. We're here in the pit still with side-by-sides. Robin Shute, three-time Pikes Peak?
That's it, yes sir.
Three-time Pikes Peak. All right, going from, we're talking about Pikes Peak used to be dirt, now it's all paved. It's a different generation prior to you. How are you getting on with the dirt, man? It seems like from Glen Helen to here, you verbalized it and it's showing in your results, getting familiar with the side-by-sides in the dirt.
Exactly, yeah. Dirt isn't my first surface I've ever raced on. It's been like a baptism of fire, I would say. We talk about finding grip. In tarmac, you can kind of read it. It's pretty obvious where stuff's rubbed in, but here, grip hides in these corners and nooks and crannies. So yeah, I'm just still figuring this out. Sometimes I'm quick, sometimes I'm not. Like this morning in timed practice, I thought I nailed it. I thought I did some great laps, and I was slow as anything. So yeah, still a huge learning curve. I'm doing my best. I'll try and get on the podium in there.
Yeah, do your best, dude. I mean, come on, Robin Shute. His name's Robin Shute. He's got to shoot for the moon, baby. All right, so and what's crazy is we were talking to Ben Mayer about it, who's on the front row. You're going to be on second row, you and Leah Block. It's crazy how when they wet it, it's getting tackier, right? Or what are you experiencing out there?
There's a little bit of wet, which gives you more grip, and then there's a lot bit wet where it's then super slippy. So you don't know until you're there, and you got to figure it out. So that's fun. I enjoy it, but a bit different to pavement for sure.
And Coley was talking about you really have aspirations of being the FC1X. You want to be in the electric car, be in the Group E. I think it's wise of you to kind of come into here again, learning the dirt, learning the fundamentals and the dynamics of all this. But I got to ask, are we going to see you in the snow and ice, man? How rad would it be to see Robin shoot up in Canada? We're talking about Alberta, we're talking about Quebec, and as they're working on your car. Would love to see you in the snow and ice.
Yeah, I'd love it. Like I said, I'm a mountain man. I'm quite at home in the snow and ice. So yeah, let's get cold.
Okay, let's get weird. All right, well, Robin Shute, he's having a good time. Again, he will be on the second row, him and Leah Block. He's behind Ben and Michaud, but we'll see how he fares, see if he can get it on the box. And you're talking about a mountain man. Another great mountain man is my man, Street Bike Tommy. Tommy?
What's up, everybody? Street Bike Tommy down here, enjoying the paddock fanfare. We got all kinds of stuff happening down here. It's not just a paddock with cars and drivers. We got a full-blown freestyle show by Nitro Circus, some of our best riders in the world. They're actually riding down here, not for the live tour, but for the Rallycross, putting on a show for everybody. We're just catching everybody to see, like, what's their experience so far with the Rallycross.
It's really sick. I love it. I came last year. I thought it was awesome. I'm a massive fan of all of Nitro. I've been watching them since I was like 3.
Yeah, you brought a bunch of stuff?
Yeah, I'm out here trying to get Travis to sign my Subaru flag.
No problem. I think I can line that up.
Really?
Yeah, I can make that happen.
Please, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah, man. Just there's a big signing line like right after the race.
Yeah, no.
If I see you, I'll push you to the front.
All right, shuts out.
I got you. All right. We're gonna kind of cruise around and we're talking to everybody. You guys enjoying the show?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How long you guys been watching this freestyle? How long has it been going on?
About 5 minutes now.
Yeah. 5-7 minutes around there.
Yeah, and they kind of just cruise and do this like randomly through the day. You guys getting anything else? You check out the paddocks. You see any of the drivers, mechanics, any of that stuff?
I'm on day 3. I love this.
My man's deep.
I couldn't make it Friday, but wasn't gonna miss Saturday and Sunday.
Well, Friday was super last minute, so like we totally understand. But getting here Friday, like we got a real one right here. But yeah, man, it's been super fun down here. Everybody's having a good time. This place is packed today, and I'm just gonna continue having a good time. And if you guys get hungry, I'm having a tailgate right over here. Meet me over there.
See you there, buddy.
I'm heading to my tailgate.
All right, you know what?
Dude! Conor Martel, get some! Get some! And you, Monster Energy girls, get out of it! Get out, this is A-Shock territory. Oh no! I got right in the spam, I'm so sorry. I feel bad now. But yeah, this is A-Shock territory, get out. Okay. Andreas wasn't out.
Sorry, that was all me.
Oh wow. Oh my god, look at the desk. I'm so sorry about the forehead thing. You okay?
All right. I just want to say, we asked Gal Blast delivered, so I'm up my game. I can shoot back finally.
Yeah, you too, McGinnis. You better run.
That was Martin.
Yeah.
That was him.
Driver is safe. No driver is safe. All right, Andreas Backer join us here. Why are you here? Just to shoot kids with gel blasters?
Yes, because you weren't
psycho.
Here. He came over here trying to kill me with all his crew, so I defended on my own. Then I needed a guest, basically, Jared, so I got him in here, and now the fight's gone a bit one-sided.
Yeah, no, I'm going to leave. I'm going to keep shooting people with these. Damn it. All right, see you guys.
So we've seen some action both here in the booth with gel blasters as well as the driving. Between the Group E, Andreas, again, you're in the mix. We're trying to get you up there, but are we going to see you on the box or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the third row. There we go. McGinnis back.
Right, yeah, go ahead and talk to us about it.
We're in third group, a row on the final there. So, I mean, anything can happen. It's just kind of wild here.
Oh my gosh!
This is an absolute disaster. Can we please put the commentary box somewhere safer next time?
This is the first time we're in the pits, and this is a terrible idea.
Come in here and take cover. Oh no, Lisa Hernandez is desperately trying to take cover. She's George just handed his gun off. Luckily, Conor Martel's had to go. Thank God.
Yeah. Even our camera gal has a gun.
Now Jen's got a gun. On the camera. I mean, honestly,
this girl has a gun.
I mean, I used her as protection earlier, so I can't blame her.
Look, POV on the left.
The monster girls have guns.
Like they start chasing
Elisa's gone against us.
In a rib cage. Right, that's it. We need a truce.
Yeah.
Let's have a truce.
Game off.
Game off. White flag.
White flag.
Well done, by the way. Yeah.
Look at that.
Well done.
Yeah, look at Fraser McConnell's absolutely been shredding out there. Andreas, where are you at? You're in
last row in the final.
Last row, but you were there yesterday.
Yeah.
You were there for Friday.
Yeah.
You were there Friday with the double header.
Yeah.
So all right. So
I've done that before. But keep on doing it.
Yep. So.
Get messages here,
All right.
through messages through our headsets, messages, people passing us stuff, people shooting us.
I have gel in my pocket.
You know what? I'm recording everything of this with my GoPro up here, so I'm going to keep on recording and shooting people. See you guys later.
All right.
Take care.
Andreas, get out of here. Guess what? Andreas is leaving. That means he's getting ready for more Nitro Rallycross here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park.
The new all-electric FC1X Rallycross car may just be the most innovative piece of motorsport machinery ever built. Precision engineered to the absolute limit, undoubtedly the most advanced Rallycross car to date. Inspired by the Group B era of the 1980s, Nitro RX's new Group E class has taken the biggest quantum leap since those heady days. Finally, the huge performance potential of EVs has been unleashed.
For me, the FC1X is the Group B of Rallycross. No one's ever seen a car this fast, have this much suspension, and it's just above and beyond any other car that's ever done Rallycross.
The Group E really takes that whole ethos of something completely ridiculous and put it on the track, and that's exactly what we've got here.
It's a rocket ship for sure. It's like nothing the rally world has ever seen before. We got big Yokohama tires on it to get the power down, so we not only have horsepower, we have speed as well.
The cool thing now is that we will have something that is, maybe it doesn't make the same sound, but it's going to be even quicker and more brutal.
I think in terms of the way it looks, it's very Group B, but with a lot more technology. Space frame chassis, which means you can basically do what you want with it. You're not limited on certain parts of the car for regulations. It's a clean sheet of paper.
This new Group E era will be even more spectacular in my opinion. The technology that comes into it now. We kind of got used to that we can fly longer than any car has flown, and we can hit tracks that no car should ever be on, That's what brings the new Spectra to Group E, and what gets me pumped,
It's an honor to be able to be the first people to ever drive this car, and it's a whole new future for Rallycross. Everyone knew it was going to go there, but they didn't know when, and to be a part of that group leading this charge on is a great feeling.
Resort and Casino playing host, thank you for their hospitality here as we're just about half a mile away from the track. A great destination to gamble and have some fun, get some good food. I know they got a nice steakhouse over there. They got
where we've been staying and partying. So yeah,
great. You went to Elton John last night, came home, and look at you. You go all the way across the bond to see the Elton John farewell tour.
Come and hang out.
And not a farewell, this gentleman right here, Fraser McConnell, he's on row 2. He's joined us here. He's behind Ollie Erickson and Robin Larson. Second row, Fraz, you're going to be next to Travis Pastrana, and then Andreas Backrud, Kevin Erickson are in the third row. Now 2 more spots are left. Now keep in mind, all 5 cars are going in, only 2 can advance on. You do you, baby boo. Fraser McConnell, thanks for joining us, buddy. How we doing? How we feeling? The smile says it all.
All good.
Big up.
My ears are still hurting from watching Brett's story of I'm just singing at the Elton John concert.
Oh boy, yeah.
But
they're bleeding now.
It was good, dude. It was really good.
It looked awesome. It was packed.
Yeah, man. It was amazing.
Through to the finals. So
through to the finals. Yesterday into today, everybody's saying just the track is transforming. You don't know what track you're getting until you get on that grid.
Yeah, no, and that's where the experience comes in. My little bit of it is helping. Looking for the dark spots. Normally you think it's better grip, but it's quite the opposite. So, changing driving style, killing the mid-corner speed, making sure the car is straight on the exit. A lot of stuff to work with.
And we saw, people have done great things on the very back of the grid. Row 2 is a decent place to be. Still trying to avoid getting shot by Andreas Backrud. They're just over the way. But what can you do? You can win from there.
For sure. Every race we're going with the same mission to come out on top. And, this sets us up for a nice opportunity.
Sweet.
And think about it. Friday night, both Connor Martell and Andreas were in that LCQ. They're in the 4th.
Yeah.
They were in that 4th rung, and they shot all the way to the front, got 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, it was a crazy final on Friday. We had, I think, 4 wide going over the gap jump.
Yeah.
And you know, had to ease up to make sure my boy Kevin Eriksson wasn't going on his roof. So yeah, and it was crazy, but you know, that's what Nitro is. You know, we're the most exciting rallycross series at the moment.
You're still protecting the egg. The egg's on the back of your helmet. You're taking care of it. Feeling the cool runnings
before every race.
Again, the pride of Jamaica, taking that trophy around to Jamaica after Glen Helen. Be great to back it up. I mean, Travis is the guy to beat. He's got the target on his back, not just the Gel Blasters target, but you know, he won last year. He got TQ on Friday. He won the event. He's the guy to beat. But right now, Ollie Eriksson, you call him, you know, obviously your Swedish brother, your Scando brother. He's got that TQ. He seems like the guy to beat today.
No, he's fast. He has 2 TQ stickers on his car now, and you know, he's been setting some crazy pace and, you know, starting at the front of the grid. So he's definitely the guy to beat. Travis is the man with experience, and it's a stacked field, man. It's crazy.
Anybody could win, and that's what's really great about it. And again,
the times are so close. Every session they go out, and you know, it's just within a few tenths of a second with between all the drivers in there. You know, one little mistake for us, and boom, you're gone.
Yeah, no, there's no room for error, and you know, that's what makes it so exciting.
All right, well, we're about to hang loose here with some LCQ action. Don't go anywhere. Fraser, McConnell, Coley. I'm Jared Deanda. Don't go anywhere. The Group E LCQ, you can see the dry desert, the track, it's moist, it's dry, it's all of it. And there is the road to the finish line, brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Ollie Eriksson, Robin Larson on the front row, Fraser McConnell, who's here in the booth with us, and he's going to be next to Travis Pastrana. And then in the third row, Backroot and Eriksson. Those 2 final spots are about to be filled. 5 racers, 2 spots, 3 are going to be crying in their beers, watching the other competitors throw down.
Look at the 6 names that are in the final already, Jared. It includes our 4 top championship drivers, because Pastrana moved up to 4th after Friday's efforts. And then you look at the names who are in the LCQ, and
Ollie's hanging out, chill out on the handbrake, just relaxing.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Yeah, just full chill, just hanging the hand up there. There's Connor Martel.
And Connor was just doing Gel Blaster fights with us moments ago.
Got to raise the heart rate, Jared. Get the adrenaline going, you know. The fear, it would have brought out the performance. He's going to go and smash it now.
Here's 30 seconds LCQ. Coley's going to get all wound up. The WPMs, the words per minute. Chase Elliott, 2020 NASCAR champion, a contender here in 22. He's on the front row. Next to Ollie Bennett, like you said, chilling. Connor Martel, the Vermont sports car, My Energy Excite vehicle. He's next to another NASCAR star, Austin Cindric. And then finally, Mr. Chris Meek, who's aggressive, but can definitely get it done. But only 2 will advance on. Who's it going to be? Look at the focus of Meek. Coley.
Meek glances down at the dash just to check those settings, but now it's only eyes up, waiting for that green light to come. Elliott versus Bennett on the front row. We know that it's absolutely crucial. NITRO is in there. Here he goes now with the sender. Elliott away from the line. Row 2, great start for Connor Martel, straight up the inside of Ollie Bennett. Bennett going for the high line, trying to go all the way on the outside. His teammate Chris Meek goes low, comes to the back of the grid. I thought he was going to get P2, ends up 4th at the minute. Bennett's on his inside as they come up over the step-up jump. Cindric at the back. Bennett sideways in, pushes Martel's nose out wide. Chris Meek underneath. It's Meek versus Bennett. Teammates side by side. Don't want to get any blue on blue fight here. They're a bit more sensible as they go underneath, but it's Chase Elliott who leads.
Chase is living up to his name, but he's actually lead Elliott, not Chase Elliott. He's out front, man. I mean, he is driving the best we've seen him all day. This is where it gets dicey. How is he going to execute that Yokohama Tire Joker lap? He vouches out. He is the leader. Should he have gone in first?
Well, the way it is at the minute, Jared, remember, Ollie was saying earlier on, he feels at the minute the Joker might be a bit slower, in which case you go back to the old tactics of going later in the race. So Meek's gone early doors with Austin Cindric. Watch for the merge now as they come down to the end of the straight. Chris Meek going to come out in P3, just behind his teammate Ollie Bennett. He'll now want to get just as close as he can to these cars. Fraz, your thoughts?
It's such a unique situation. You know, this is the first track where the Joker has been faster, and it's a full dirt track, and the dirt is evolving all weekend long. No one really knows if it's faster or not, so you know, it's a gamble. If you're in front, you want to take it first, but you know, Chase is really putting a good performance out right now, my A-Shock teammate.
Look what's crazy here. Connor Martel gets his first podium was Friday night, and he got 2nd place. He's in the back of the pack. So Chase, Bennett, and Martel, they all need to take the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Bennett gets a pass. Oh boy.
Elliott's broken on the rear
really? Right, okay, well, good move still by Bennett to get in there. Was it on the way into the Joker? Didn't even look wide enough, Jared.
Look at, I think Chase Elliott, he was slowing down a little bit on entry of that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Hopefully he can get it back. Here comes Chris Meek over the hip and through that finish line. What do we got? Look at Chase is crawling. Bummer for Chase Elliott.
Meek leads, Jared, from the back of the grid. Top left of your screen, you can see a stopwatch next to his name. That means he's just done the fastest lap. Chris Meek has a big lead over his teammate Ollie Bennett. At the minute, both of the Excite Energy racing machines powered by My Energy would be going through to the final. That'd be a fantastic result for them, but a bit of pressure now for Ollie Bennett from Austin Cindric.
All right, so Austin Cindric is the real only contender here, and Austin's giving it to him in that A-shot. And we got a rotation here. What is going on? Ollie Bennett rotates. If Austin Cindric gets it fired back up.
This is for a place in the final. The top two go through. Bennett's got away in the background. I was waiting to see Conor Martell, but of course Martell's out. Chase Elliott was crawling round. So Bennett's got a
front left puncher for Bennett.
So Bennett's got to hold on here. He needs to be watching the battle for P2. Chris Meek comes over the line. He's booked a place in the final, but is it going to be his teammate Bennett, or is it going to be behind? Cindric's desperately trying to find a way through sideways for Bennett. Cindric up in the dust trail behind, jumps over the top, even with a puncture. He's going to hold on. Is he?
Oh no! So Bennett does, like you said, that front left puncture. He debeated. Looks like Austin Cindric unfortunately gets the roadblock from him, and man, I'll tell you what, Chase Elliott was on pace. He was about to be in the final, but then going into that Yokohama Tire Joker lap, he came to a halt. He was crawling through, but looks like the Excite boys are going to be in, talking about Meek and Bennett. You're going to need that.
Carnage.
That's a must need.
Carnage.
Yeah, you forgot something back here, kids.
Well, there we go.
Man. Well, an exciting LCQ just for 2 spots. It looks like Meek and Bennett, the 2 Brits, as Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott, and Conor Martell are knocked out. There are final 2 spots in our Group E finals, Meek and Bennett.
So this was the spin just a few moments ago. So you got Bennett here. Looking up the inside line was Austin Cindric. Just gets in the back. Bennett goes round. But then you see Bennett can drive off in first, whereas Cindric's got to find reverse. You know, we're talking buttons, aren't we, in these cars?
Yeah, he's definitely not stalled.
No, so it's a bit of a bummer. Bennett goes through though.
All right, the track is getting settled and all our finals are set. We got side-by-side finals, we got NRX Next finals, and then of course we got Group E finals. Should you be leaving us, Fraz?
I'm going to head out right now, but you know, hope to see you guys on the box.
Yeah, man.
No,
Go
please.
ahead, get out of here, Fraz. Get out of here, Fraz. That's how we let everybody get out of here. See you later, Fraz. Good luck in the final.
Right.
All right, so our final outside of Cindric, outside of Chase Elliott, and Conor Martell, second place Friday night. This is how our guaranteed rate road to the finish line and the grid shapes up. Ollie Eriksson on pole, Robin Larson. Second row, Fraser McConnell is just with us against Travis Pastrana in that second row. Third row, Andreas Backerud and Eriksson. And finally, it looks like Chris Meek and Ollie Bennett rounding out these 8 drivers. So congratulations to them. How's Ollie Eriksson? Can he take a TQ and make it a perfect event? Taking a look at the LCQ replay. Again, Chase Elliott was doing so well. I'm gutted for him, man.
And look at Martell, Jared. Got a great start, was in P2 here. Bennett went brave around the outside. Chris Meek conservative around the inside line. Almost 3 wide over the top of the A-Shock Energy gap jump. Austin Cindric was at the back of the pack here, and then look, Bennett comes in super hot. Just a tiny bit of contact between him and Martell, but I think that might have been enough to damage Martell's car. This was Bennett up the inside of Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott by then already had... Oh, okay. Group E LCQ is under review, so that's...
what do we...
Well, we don't know. Just they said generally the whole thing, Jared.
Just the whole...
just the whole
3
thing.
laps, the whole shebang.
You're just going to have a look back. They're probably watching it right now and going, yeah, we're not sure about any of this.
Okay, I mean, backtracking, we'll see. Elisa, where are you at? What's going on? It's getting windy down there.
Yeah, I'm here at the pre-grid. I'm pretty small, so I hope I don't blow away. But honestly, we're here with that last LCQ race. And honestly, it's pretty interesting. I talked to one of the drivers, Gordon, and he said that the conditions on the track have been pretty great the entire day. And he hopes it stays that way, but he's really trying to battle for position in that final. And I think the biggest thing that he's told me was that he just does not want to destroy his car. He's like, we only have a 20-minute turnaround before the final, so that is the key thing for him. He's like, just keep it safe, be conservative, but also try to be competitive as well. So kind of a delicate balance there. And Jansen also said that there's good conditions, and he just hopes it stays that way. He's in that pole position, guys, so he hopes to take advantage of that as much as he can.
Great to have Elisa joining us here in Arizona, and I hope you're enjoying your weekend at Rallycross. So good to have you on the team. So here are the guys trying to get the re-prep done at Excite Energy Racing. You can hear the clanging away of the wheel nut guns as they try and get this car ready as quickly as they possibly can.
I have a lot of friends here in the building, and it's really great when they walk by. We get to just shoot them with gel blasters. It's fantastic. It's a great way to just say hello to friends. So still under review is this Group E LCQ, the last chance qualifier. We could see which vehicle's at one of the Excite. Look at how chopped up.
Yeah,
the doubleheader. Hey, shout out to the teams.
God,
you know, we're talking about the drivers, but the teams, the crews working overnight and just, you know, getting them dialed. So, you know, shout out to them.
They have had to work hard. Remember as well, doubleheader. They did a whole weekend during the one race day, and that stop-start for the drivers, but the technicians are prepping the whole time. You know, a race only lasts 3 or 4 minutes, and after that it comes back and the car needs an hour's worth of re-prep. So they were at it all day long.
NRX next. Now, I believe is this our final? This is our semifinal. I believe we should be looking at our next final. I'm seeing Casper Janssen, Jimmy Henderson, Lane Michaela, and Eric Gordon. So this is the LCQ. This is about position. So McGinnis is still in it.
Yeah, McGinnis has already gone through to the pole. So he's gone through to the pole. Everybody else has got a race for grid positions. Casper Janssen, Jimmy Henderson, Lane Michaela, and Eric Gordon. Here we go. Janssen on the inside's got to be favourite here, but I have to say Jimmy Henderson has really impressed me in just the 2 outs. It's good reaction time, but you can see too much wheel spin for Henderson. His teammate Eric Gordon gets alongside. Lane Michaela is into P2. Eric Gordon going for the high line right the way around the outside of Michaela. Just picked up a bit of understeer on the exit and then a bit of oversteer. Can't quite get where he wants to be. It's Janssen leading from Michaela.
All right, these next vehicles, they are taking an absolute beating. And I'll tell you what, I loved, again, McGinnis's whole shot. That was absolutely tremendous. Let's wet down that grid.
While you were out, McGinnis came running in here and just leaned over the deck just to fist pump me. I was like, do you want to join me? He said, no, I'll just kind of fist pump you. A great start. Like, he was so chuffed.
He was geeked on it. And like you said, that equates to confidence going into it. So Janssen, Michaela Gordon, that nose down.
Two teammates in the background, Gordon and Henderson, both looking like they'd had a little issue. Janssen's joking and come out in front of Lane Michaela, but only just. We know that the lap times are extraordinarily similar. This time Janssen goes out wide and Michaela goes in joker, so Janssen's going to want to bang in a blinding couple of corners here, try and come out still in the lead. O'Reilly's LCQ, just for the grid positions for NRX next. Of course, with Group E, it was to decide who went through to the final. When we have bigger entries, that's what it does.
And this is all about position, where they're going to land as far as, you know, front row, second row, and obviously third row. 5 vehicles in the NRX Next finals. And Casper Janssen, it seems like him and McGinnis, you know, just overall. And Janssen is such a talented driver.
Champion last year, Jared, you know, just turned up, hadn't done, he did a little bit of, in Europe they call it lights, as it used to be called over here. Then he came and did NRX Next. And he'd come from a karting background. When he first appeared up in Sweden, I was announcing, he was wild, he was all over the place, and he tidied it up through the year. And these cars are momentum cars, they need to be driven a little bit tidier to make sure you get the exit speed, and he just came and dominated, and that's what he's done here. So Casper Janssen has utterly dominated the LCQ, taken the win. Lane Michaela P2, Henderson and Gordon both with issues, I think.
Yeah, you could see the back 40 vehicle, Henderson, Gordon, and looks like didn't even take the joker lap, so
that'd be a 30-second penalty, I think.
Yeah, that's going to push him in the back of the pack. Just get the car dialed at this point.
Yeah, I mean, with a problem on it, it doesn't matter.
Be in it. Take the hit and take you know, kind of lick your wounds, get back out there. Anything can happen. There's our NRX Next. So as we talk about, you know, not hitting that joker lap, that could suffer Jimmy Henderson. But Casper Janssen out front, Lane Michaela, Jimmy Henderson, Eric Gordon, LCQ, and of course George McGinnis will be on pole for our NRX Next finals. Let's take a look at the replays. Nothing crazy, extraordinary, unique, aggressive, anything crazy, but because Casper Janssen, as we take a look at the Gila River Resort and Casinos analysis.
So we're the review is still going on for Group E. If you're wondering, I wonder who it is, Jay. Bennett was
I would
pretty
say
hot
Bennett into Chase,
Yeah.
into that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Did he kind of hit? Did he hit Chase?
Previous hairpin, wasn't it? No, not the. Sorry, the hairpin up at turn 2, which the track map says turn 3, but everyone says turn 2. And he came in hot there twice. And good for him. You know, got to go for it. Got to get after it.
That's what we've been talking about all day from yesterday.
Yeah, and the fact also that Bennett, you know, has suddenly taken a step up in pace. Now he wants to get amongst it, so he's gone for it, and the stewards will decide how it goes. But Elisa is up next. Elisa, where are you at? What's going on?
Hey, I'm here with Oliver. You have to walk me through what happened towards the end of that race. I know it's still under review, but what is your perspective on that?
Yeah, it was quite a crazy race. There's not much grip on the track now. It's all blue groove, which is where the rubber's been laid down, so there's no grip for drivers. Trying to overtake is so slidey out there. I had a puncture and lost my front left, so obviously really down on my last lap on lap time. But yeah, I just tried to keep going as best I could. Going over the jumps with one tyre missing was a little bit sketchy, but yeah, we made it round. I did, I think, get pushed by Cedric in one section, but we both spun round and then carried on in the same position type of thing. So yeah, a few spins, punctured tyre, just get it fixed now and into the final with Chris hopefully.
All right, we'll still wait to see what that actually is under review, so we'll keep posted on that, guys.
Thank you so much, Elisa and Ollie Bennett. Like you said, it's kind of seeing what the outcome is. We will see as we take a look, and Ollie Bennett taking a look. So what are your expectations there?
Well, so look, Cindric's come from. I'm not convinced this is the thing that's under review. I think it's actually up at turn 2 because Cindric came from a long way back there. Drad tapped him in the rear. If that gets investigated, they would give a penalty to Cindric, not to Bennett. So it's not irrelevant, but you see my point. The positions haven't changed, so it doesn't matter if they give a penalty on that. I think it might be the higher speed stuff up into the hairpin, so Bennett on, but we don't know. And I think Ollie didn't know either. He's kind of like, I think everything's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, as we're in some rough waters here right now, a gentleman who's taken to water very swimmingly. We saw him take to water in Sweden, but to now here is in Arizona. Of course, this gentleman finds water. Tommy.
You may be asking yourself, isn't this supposed to be a rallycross? Why is this guy wearing a life jacket, a PFD even, and he looks very official? Well, you know what? One of my life dreams has been to backflip a jet ski, and it turns out this track actually has a lake, and my good friend, 5-time world champ, jet ski freestyler, Mark Gomez, happened to come in from Lake Havasu, where he lives, to bring in a practice ski and let me get after it.
Well, you know what, Tommy? We had a little snafu with the practice ski, so I'm throwing you today on my competition ski.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You're going to ride my comp ski. Yeah, like the full, it's a whole lot to handle, but I got nothing but faith in Tommy. He's got the hardest job. Usually I like to take it easy on my students, but Tommy, you got your work cut out for you. You're going to do great.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so Mark Gomez, everybody. That's what I'm supposed to do?
All right. That's all you, buddy. Just do that.
Like what you just did?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that sound?
What sound?
Oh, bro.
I'm scared. I guess I better get my helmet on.
Keep going. All right. I'm gonna sit you on the beach cart, and you're gonna be ready to go.
Okay. The jet is like pushing my feet off.
You get in it right now.
Like on me?
Yep. No. Stand up.
Oh.
Yep. There you go.
All right.
Ready? Start it up.
All right. Whoa, dude.
Well, that's the best I could do without the skill needed to even operate the jet ski. But I feel like I did a backflip. Back to you guys.
Amazing, amazing.
Cindric, there's a lot of contact towards the end of that race. From your perspective, what did you see on the track?
Great question. Obviously, it's all under review right now, so trying to understand. Obviously, I had nothing to do with the contact between the 42 and Chase, but I guess Bennett had a left front tire down, so he was limping the car around. So for me, he was super wide in the under, and I couldn't avoid him, and I didn't really gain an advantage from that. So be interested to see what the stewards have to say, or if it advances as the final, hell yeah, I'm all about it. I'm not going to complain. But like I said, I have no idea what happened between the other two of them, so can't really speak much on it. But either way, it's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun. It's a cool experience. I feel like if I had one more day, I could get some of the small details right. Today was a big gain for me in getting the feeling of the slick track conditions. I started off probably a little weak in that area. Really good with really good track conditions, or at least in the ball game, in the morning sessions. But as the track dries out, that's where I've really seemed to struggle and need to grow. So I feel happy about that. I've got a broader perspective, and definitely went outside of my comfort zone, probably more than I was anticipating this week. But hopefully it turns out we're in the final. I'd love that. I'd love to have another go.
Now, it's good to see that you're having a lot of fun out here. Would you come back for the next race that's going to be in Canada?
I don't know what the schedule looks like, but I'm pretty sure I've already looked at it. I'm not sure I can make it happen just from a schedule standpoint, but I'd love to. I mean, I've done the RX on ice before, and it's a lot of fun, and obviously I've always loved racing in Canada, whatever it's been. Canadian race fans really come out, and it's a lot of fun. I've raced for Canadian race teams, so if I could do it, I probably would, but I'm pretty sure I cannot.
All right, well, thanks to Cindric. We'll look to hear what's the replay on the final verdict on that.
Seeing the teams working on their vehicles. Next stop are the finals for our Group E. You can see Travis's vehicle. That's a Vermont Sports Car pit. We see Travis, the race tape, strapping down the hood, and we just saw Austin Cindric's vehicle. But we got NRX next, and now side-by-side finals.
Here we go. Then side by side. 30 seconds to go before these guys head off. Gregoire Michaud and Ben Mayer on the front row. Then it's Robin Shute and Leah Block on row 2. BJ Baldwin and Leticia Buffoni on row 3. Jim York and Demi Bagby bringing up the rear. This should be good.
Yeah, unfortunately, Scotty Lawrence flipped earlier, lost a tire, but right now, Michaud and Mayer, they are the guys to watch. Let's see them out front. Robin Shute and Leah Block would love to get that grip from the second row. We're going to spell it out. NITRO, let's go and send it. Who's going to get the jump? Who's going to get the whole shot? Michaud, Mayer, Shute, Block, Baldwin, Buffoni, York, and Bagby. Looks like Michaud, once again, from that front row, you can see right there, Robin Shute jumps into second. Ben Mayer sitting in third. It looks like Ben Mayer, Robin Shute now jumps out front. Going the wrong way, that's Leah Block. Now Robin Shute sits in second, but again, Michaud, 6 laps, the most laps they've seen here today.
So interesting to see what they do with Joker tactics, Jared. The leaders haven't gone, which tells me that they think the Joker is longer. If they thought the Joker was short, they'd have gone. But what Ollie Eriksson was saying earlier is because it changes every session, and look down here, you can see the different conditions. Some of it's polished, some of it's not. You're trying to judge what the Joker Delta is going to be every time you go out. Normally we can say to you guys, oh, well, it's 2 seconds. Now we're like, I don't know.
Don't know. It's literally lap to lap.
Yeah.
And we talked to Ollie Eriksson, who got TQ. He says, I don't even know. Like, he as a driver doesn't even know.
No, exactly. The way to fix it is you make one of the laps much longer or much shorter, then you'll know. Then the Delta might move by a second, but because it was only a half second when we knew what it was, as the condition changed and it's going a second either way, it goes from slightly slower to slightly faster. Keeps it interesting.
Gregor Michaud out front, and just look at just the flick. The flick he's got is absolutely insane. Robin Shute would love to get on the box. I talked to him, earlier in the pits, and he wants to be in an FC1X, but I think this is the right approach, kind of just easing into it. Let's go side by side. I don't think he needs next. I think side by sides are going to teach him the fundamentals about flicking it in and getting it sideways.
And the jumps as well. That's the other thing. He's trying to move these cars about in the air. I remember him saying about how much he was trying to learn that. Of course, ERX, he didn't get much of a crack of the whip because he had that huge crash on day one, end over end.
Good old, his nickname now, right?
Go on.
Air brake. Because he hit the brakes in the air and it caused it to go forward. So lovingly, his nickname is Air brake.
Yeah, if you hit the brakes, that'll bring the nose down. If you hit the gas, that brings the nose up. But when you panic, and he was lifting, wasn't he, to avoid somebody, jumped on the brake, and unfortunately that changes the attitude. But he gets up the inside.
Okay.
Gregoire Michaud, that was a fantastic move by Shute. Just loses out in that right kink.
And what's interesting there is, with them being open wheel vehicles, it could get really sketchy. So he was flirting with it as Robin Shute goes for that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Michaud, obviously, he's out front. Is Robin Shute going to gain some ground on Michaud?
Now, we're not sure, are we, on the Delta? It looks like he's going to come out further down. How's come by? Across the loop on the inside. Where's he going to come out? He was P2 before, but right behind Michaud, coming out in P3
look at that
behind
Mayer.
Ben Mayer. Yeah. So Ben Mayer up high in the dirt, talking about all that, 13 years old and talking about track conditions like he was, Jared. Yeah, that's when you got to start, really, these days, if you want to get pro.
All right, so we're seeing Robin Shute now in third. BJ Baldwin behind him just by about a second. About a second is Baldwin. Leah Block back there. We got Jim York. Again, he's a part of that American Stunt Society. He is ASS certified.
It was interesting talking, I thought, to BJ Baldwin, 8-time off-road champion, about how different it was in this than it is in his trucks. Saying that the trucks don't really accelerate or stop very well, but the momentum over the bumps is absolutely unbelievable. These things stop a lot quicker because they're so much lighter, and he's just trying to get his head around braking a bit later, and the dynamics of a car which weighs probably, I was going to say a quarter, but I reckon it might only be like a fifth or a sixth of what his truck would weigh.
Look at Michaud, just the way he is wheeling that machine. He is getting so much clean air, 1.5 seconds in front of Ben Mayer, the 13-year-old that we keep just doting on, but a lot of talent there. Robin Shute, he's going to get his first podium. Here's the checkered flag, and there it is, Michaud. Mayer is going to be on the box, and Robin Shute. BJ Baldwin, there is Leah Block coming on in. Jim York with that Dixon flannel vehicle. Leticia Buffoni, the Monarch pro skateboarder who just dropped air grind. And then finally Demi Bagby coming on in that final position. So little windy, little brisk, but keeping the track hot here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. And that's a culmination of a doubleheader for our Nitro Rallycross side-by-side. This spec class, and there's Demi Bagby bringing it on in. So thank you to all our racers that are competing out here this weekend in what we call the Nitro Side-by-Side Celebrity Invitational, all running Can-Am X3s, identical spec class. And Gregoire Michaud from Canada flying the Maple Leaf higher than anybody. Ben Mayer in second, Robin Shute rounding out our podium finish. BJ Baldwin, Block, York, Buffoni, and Bagby. All right, so some great racing there.
I've put a hoodie on. It's cold. I'm heading out. You have a great time. See you later.
All right, see you later. What the Brit putting on a hoodie? You should be conditioned to this, man. All right. All right, Andrew Coley's going to head on over and have some words. Let's take a look at the replay here. Michaud, it was all him. Tell you what, Robin Shue was challenging that number 2 spot, but Ben Mayer jumps up. Leah Block got spun around early on, unfortunately, for the 57. It's not. She had a great showing in her LCQ, but unfortunately just got turned around. So Leah Block should definitely hold her head high. York gets into it. That's where she got. Oh no, that was Leticia Bafani, and York got into it. So Michaud comes out on top, and this is where Robin Shue lost the position to the young 13-year-old Ben Mayer. But look at those Yokohama tires, grip up, come out of the hole, and get the victory for Gregor Michaud. Great job there by Michaud as Andrew Coley's over in the pits. He's got his hoodie on, keeping it hot. Coley, what's up?
So I'm at Vermont Sports Car, and they've actually still working on Travis Pastrana's car coming over this way. They've had to do a last-minute change on the steering rack. So the guys are in there now. You've got 3 guys inside the car all trying to get the alignment sorted. I don't want to take my cameraman too close because we'll be in the way, and also we'll be falling all over the stuff that's on the floor. We've asked to see if we can talk to Travis or not. Over this side, let's go and see Connor's car. Come this way. Mind that you don't trip over that jack. See if everything's going okay on this side. We've got mechanics in the front of the car here. What's going on, guys? What are you working on?
Steering column change.
So steering column on Martel's car and steering rack on Travis Pastrana's car. So Vermont Sports Car have been really busy. We're trying to get Travis now. Might see if we can head out the back and grab him. He's coming out. He's getting. I see he's putting his shoes on. So yeah, a lot of work for the guys here to try and get both cars ready. Martel, they were changing the rack, but not in the race. What's going on, Chris?
What happened to Martel? Got knocked out by another competitor. Steering rack broke.
But still fixing the car just in case you get the review go your way?
Yeah, you never know. But I think a lot of things would need to go our way before the car would come back in. But yeah, it's a 40-minute job, and I think they have 20 minutes, so we'll see what happens.
I love that. These guys, Vermont Sports Car Pros, of course, running the FC1s here, but also running Subaru's rally program and the Rallycross program. Travis has gone that way. Hold on. He's missed us. He's gone the other way. Here he is. So, Trav, we're just talking to Chris Yandel about re-prepping Connor's car just in case they get in. They did a bit of a miracle for that. But your car as well, you've had your steering rack changed.
So the steering rack wasn't quite right on that last one, but honestly, as slick as it was, this Power Plus Vermont Sports Car vehicle was still, it did exactly what we needed. We just want to make sure we don't go off a jump and have no steering. Because as you can see, it's super slick already, and there's a lot of carnage going on. I don't need to add any more carnage by just not being able to turn.
How you feeling about the final?
Second row outside's not ideal. I have to, it's going to be tough, but I think if we can drive smooth, I know that's not really my vocabulary, but I believe we can get on the podium. If we can get a little luck in that first turn, I think we could possibly get a win here. It's a good track for me. It's so slick just because of all of the wind, all of the heat on this track. They're having a hard time keeping the moisture in. So it's the driver that makes the least amount of mistakes and hopefully stays out of trouble.
All right, and your boys are some of the best in the business. Looks like they might be finished.
Yeah, no, these guys are absolutely amazing. Huge thanks to the Vermont Sports Car crew. And, man, looking forward to getting out there. It's been a good track for me in the past, and I know we can get it done.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Travis. Best of luck in the final. Good work from VSC here. We're going to hand over to Elisa. Where are you at? What's going on?
I am here on the track. Congratulations. You are all smiles here.
Yeah, we're really happy. We finally have our first position. We were waiting it for all the other round, but we're happy about it. Robin was close after when we get out of the Joker, so a little bit of stress, but really happy about it.
As you guys are kind of rolling around, the track conditions have been pretty perfect with some of the guys I talked to. How did you feel with today?
The track was very slippery. When you came, there was a hole over there, but in majority it was and I like it.
You had fun slipping and sliding over there. The Joker, obviously, you said, how much of an advantage did you feel as you kind of moved around the track?
I think we were pretty fast in the Joker, and I think we did it great.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Nitro Rallycross is brought to you by My Energy, driving the charge to a sustainable future. Guaranteed rate. Now, more than ever, you need the best. A-Shock, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation.
I'm just here with Chris Meek. I was just asking, so are you under investigation or not? He was like, no, he's innocent. But you've had a roller coaster weekend, like amazing pace, that great pass, then the stewards got involved. Now you've won the LCQ and you're through to the final.
Yeah, at least we're in the final. We had a really bad morning this morning. That whole commotion yesterday with the pass on Travis and then getting the penalty and not being allowed to go through the last chance qualifier. Then the head steward apologising to say he made the wrong decision, but they can't correct anything, which put me starting at the back of the grids today. And I got tagged in the first heat. Fraser tagged me, broke a drive shaft. Then the semi-final, prop shaft broke. It was just 2 DNFs this morning, so luckily we got into the last chance qualifier starting at the back, but I managed to get a really good start, get hooked up, and we won it. So to come from 5th, at least now I'm in the final, so it gives us half a chance, you know.
Tough business, this rallycross, isn't it, eh?
It's a proper roller coaster of emotions, It's crazy, but you know, I just feel as if I needed a break. I think I really got my teeth into it yesterday evening. I was on a proper high after getting that pass done on Travis, and then someone just came with a pin to the balloon and burst everything. So yeah, I think if we had been allowed that result yesterday, which I think everybody watching thought was justified, I think we could have been higher up the grids today. But look, anything can happen in the final. We've seen the final on Friday evening. It was carnage. So let's see. We're going to give out everything for sure. All we need to get a good start, get hooked up in the first corner, try to stay out of trouble. It's not that simple, but
he's learning fast, isn't he? It's not that simple. He said anything can happen, of course, in the final, but anything can happen with Tommy Passamonte, especially when he's got a gel blaster. I imagine he's sniping someone from somewhere. Let's go, Tommy.
What's up, guys? Looks like I'm troublemaker again this stop, because turns out our sponsor Gel Blaster has given me another rifle on this stop. Nobody else is as happy as I am about it, but I'm about to have some fun sniping some people. All right, I'm about to get Coley. I'm gonna get into position here because I know he's gonna be walking out of this paddock. He's doing his little, oh, it's morning time. I'm gonna do my Coley thing from garage to garage. He's gonna be getting the business when he walks out. Oh, Coley, come out to play, yay. Yeah, what's up?
Hi.
Yeah, are you here?
I am here.
Can you come meet me at Yokohama?
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Bring the targets to you. Oldest trick in the book. Green shirt, yellow lettering, pink sunglasses. Doesn't see me. They're looking over at Yokohama. Do not see me. Red and black flannel. He didn't even see me. Oh, this is the best one ever. Brent, black shirt, Nitro Circus logo. Oh, where's it coming from? Where's it coming from? Oh, Yokohama girls got too much skin showing. That's a big mistake. Look at you with your little red shirts. And oh, direct hit. Direct hit. Where'd it come from? I don't know. What was that? Hi, how you doing? I'm Yokohama Jill. They're too close. That's gonna sting. Didn't give away my position though. Looks like I'm running low on targets. Run on gel blaster beads. This metal's getting really hot. I'm gonna have to find a new spot.
So I'm with Ollie Eriksson, the TQ man. This is the TQ trophy. You got the belt as well. But some breaking news for you. Ollie Bennett has been given a 5-second penalty for that contact earlier on, and that means that Austin Cindric is going to go through to the final. We're going to go and find Austin in a minute. He's being run by OMSE, who, of course, Ollie is a family member of that team. Mate, how you doing? You seem super chilled to me.
Yeah, I mean, we're on pole, so it's kind of job done so far, you know. Nitro Rallycross final, anything can happen. So, you know, we have a good position to do something great, and hopefully we can bring a podium home.
Okay, cool. Do you have a plan? Or is it one of those things where you have a plan until you get punched in the face?
Pretty much, you know. It's all about how track prep is going to be as well. You know, you can't make a plan through turn one. Either you go wide or stay clean inside. So, yeah, it's all going to be down to track prep and whoever gets the best run up to turn one.
You change the car at all for track prep, or is it just a case of responding to it when you're out there, maybe launch settings?
No, it's more a change to the seat spacer then, I guess. So, you know, the spacer between the steering wheel and the seat. So, yeah, it's all down to me now. So, car's running great, so we'll see.
All right, you stay chill. We're wishing you the best of luck. Austin Cindric is over here. Austin, we just heard that you are going through to the final. Ollie Bennett's been given a 5-second penalty. You were chilling here a minute ago. Now you've got to get fired up again. We good to go?
6 laps. It's more laps than I've done all weekend. It's the dustiest the track has been all weekend, so I'm not going to be able to see anything. So I guess it's time for more fun. I'm excited. Hopefully the final's not as crazy as it was on Friday night, but rooting for my boy Oliver. If I do get on the podium, though, I told Chase Elliott earlier today, I'm jumping in whatever that body of water that is. So you guys have that to look forward to if I get there.
Okay, so that is a promise. NASCAR driver Austin Cindric has just said if he gets on the podium, he's going swimming afterwards. Now, don't tell him what's in the lake. We don't want to spoil it. What is it? Well, Street Bike Tommy was in there earlier. That's bad enough.
A promise is a promise.
So Austin Cindric, best of luck. Enjoy it. Austin Cindric's gone through to the final. We're going to head on over this way. Good luck, dude. Yeah, enjoy it. Ericssons are ready. Everything's pretty chilled here. Won't be so chilled up at XR Racing, I'm sure, but people getting ready for the final. Jared, back to you, mate.
Thank you so much, Coley, and I love that Austin, if he gets on the box, he's jumping in the body of water. We are getting ready for NRX next. You can see Gordon. We are looking at Janssen, Vakela, Henderson, and McGinnis. McGinnis has the pole, 5 vehicles. You see the starter banging on the door. Hey, you ready? Yeah, of course I am. That's right, as we are all getting ready here, blasting away, gel blasting, as we are ready to blast on that start grid. Who's going to get the jump? And look at how moist it is. Look at how wet it is. Here's our NRX next final grid. George McGinnis on pole. Casper Janssen, they are the guys to watch. Lane Vakela, Gordon, and Henderson rounding it out. Gordon and Henderson did have some issues in that LCQ. Let's see where they shape up. Lane Vakela, would love to see him on the box, see him on the podium, but it's been the McGinnis and Janssen show this whole season. Where are they going to land? Are they going to survive? The most laps they're going to see. 6 laps to go. We will get the start. And who is going to get the jump? You can see how much moisture is there on the start grid. And how much grip they're going to get is TBD.
Yeah, that's what they're all saying, isn't it? TBD. Even Ollie Eriksson was like, yeah, cool, the job's done, except for the fact I have no idea how much grip there's going to be. But he's very chill.
It's just resounding. It's resounding across all classes. And I do love that they're doing the maintenance in between, you know, from side-by-sides to next, and then going into Group E.
Right, here we go then. NRX next final coming up. They're getting the board held up in front of them. That will be building up the tension inside the cars. McGinnis on the pole, Casper Janssen alongside. That rivalry continues. Lane Vakela on row 2 with Eric Gordon. Jimmy Henderson at the back of the pack. We know what a power Henderson is to be reckoned with. Can he get to the podium again from the rear?
It's all about attrition. 6 laps, the most laps they've seen up until yesterday. The doubleheader weekend for NRX next. The bragging rights on the line. Who's advancing on? NITRO, let's go. Let's set it, lick the stamp. Here we go. McGinnis, Janssen on that front row. Janssen gets good grip. Remember, McGinnis shot back from lane 2. McGinnis goes wide. Kind of shots fired across the nose. And look at the attitude of the vehicles. Looks like Janssen goes high, then low, and then, overshooting there. I believe that might be Lane Vakela. Thank you.
Vakela's cut the inside of the track, Jared. McGinnis did well, did he round the outside again, sort of let the car run wide. I thought Janssen might get him, but with that right kick afterwards, you can afford to be on the outside and get away with it.
All right, there we go with Janssen going into the the Yokohama Tire Joker lap, and we'll see how that delta is. The time slip, is it faster? Is it slower? McGinnis, he stays out there. There are a lot of laps. It's about attrition, keeping the car together. The track is going to transform.
Jared Janssen was in the wall in the Joker lap. He ran into the wall on the outside as he was coming through. He's going to lose at least one position, if not two. Lucky there that Lane Michaela avoided him on the brakes. Back of the shot, you can see the front left corner seems okay on his car, but he was in the wall quite hard. I would be tempted if I was McGinnis to go now on this next lap, but let's see if he does.
The 44, Jimmy Henderson.
He doesn't.
All right, so there we can see George McGinnis out front. He's got the clean air. He's got the right lines. He's got the moves like Jagger.
Yeah, feeling confident, and then behind him now, look, Janssen's making a pass on Henderson, I think, up the inside. So Henderson and Michaela close together. Sorry, no, yeah, and Eric Gordon at the back of the pack. So nothing wrong with Janssen's car, just a mistake. That's why I thought McGinnis would go straight away, Jared. If we know the lap times are really similar, if you know your competitor's been in the wall, go Joker.
He might save it for that second to last, though.
Yeah, he might well do. I just think you don't
just gain some more ground.
Yeah, don't give Janssen to. Now he goes. Now he goes. I wouldn't give Casper too much time to close it down. They're very similar in terms of ability and lap time, but yeah, if you know someone competitive is behind you and you know they've made a mistake, it's not a bad time to go, unless you're going to drop in traffic. But because the times are so close together on a lap, you're unlikely to.
All right, so McGinnis, Henderson, and Michaela Hall take the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Here comes Casper Janssen. How's the zipper going to form, and is Casper going to get him? No, McGinnis comes out in front of Casper Janssen with that fastest lap. So here we go. This is now where you don't make any mistakes. Hold on, you hear that door opening? No, shut it. And then it opens, and then shut it. So we're going to see a lot of kind of exchanges here, and this is where it gets a little ugly. Watch this.
Yeah, Casper Janssen already sticking the nose up the inside of McGinnis, flicks the car. He's got good line through here. McGinnis isn't going too defensive. McGinnis was so early on the brakes. Now he has another look up the inside, trying to Larson move, rubbing paint there as they pop back into the arena. McGinnis was so early on the brakes. He really was fantastic.
All right, we're seeing LCQ number 2 excluded.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. If
what
that's
that
the case, that's Austin Cindric's been DQ'd. We were told that Bennett had a penalty. So if Cindric's been DQ'd, then that might... who was...
All right, I'm confused.
Okay, go on,
we'll get over there. Oh, no. The 99 spins out. All right, so unfortunately, it looks like Gordon comes to a halt, but it's all about McGinnis and Casper Janssen. And Casper, look at this, gets to the side of McGinnis. It looks like he might get the jump on McGinnis. Oh, McGinnis comes across the nose of Casper Janssen. I don't really agree with that move there, but...
Be careful on the big jumps, Jared. You don't want any contact in the air there. So lots going on in the background for Group E, but lots going on right in front of you now. Henderson gets super sideways. He'd done the fastest lap. Wow.
McGinnis is getting squirrely. He is just going all over, but Janssen dives in, and that was an amazing pass. No contact made there. And Casper Janssen, he was drooling, looking to strike, and there he goes. Look, he gets around McGinnis. And there we go, final lap, and it looks like Casper Janssen, with 2 turns left to go, gets the jump. Ben Mayer waving the checkered flags. Janssen strikes. McGinnis being, let's just call it what it is, pretty aggressive on the defending of the line, but unfortunately, it doesn't work out for him. I'll tell you what, that was a really good pass by Casper Janssen going around. McGinnis gets second, and look at that, Henderson gets third, Michaela fourth, and Gordon in fifth. So Henderson on the box, but man, again, McGinnis and Janssen, that's exactly what we expected, and Casper getting them, the only sweet out there. McGinnis, like I said, getting aggressive, but Casper, chef's kiss, well done.
So we've had a message from race control. So what's happened where it said Cindric's been DQ'd, Bennett was given a penalty, but so was Cindric. So the stewards were working on it. He goes out, so we're thinking Bennett's out, Cindric's in. I even told Austin Cindric he was in. Now they're telling Cindric, you've been DQ'd. Bennett's back out. All numbers flying about all over the place. Elisa can explain a bit more.
A little bit of ping pong news there. You feel you had a range of emotions, high, low, angry, upset, but now you're smiling because you are in the finals. What did you hear when you went to race control?
Yeah, I mean, I've got used to just playing it cool at the minute now, see what happens a few minutes after the race has ended. But yeah, there was some controversy where I came in quite heavy on the top of the hill and took an overtake. There was some slight touching there. The stewards think I came in a bit too hot, but you know, I was racing. I knew you've got to be top 2 in this LCQ, so yeah, I made a pass. But yeah, I did get a 5-second penalty, but I was spun later in the session by Cedric. He got a DQ for that, so it balances out. I sort of end up where I finished.
Obviously, you're trying to get your mind right? And so you go to race control, you get that news. Was there a sense of like, whew, and now refocusing to your next race?
Not particularly, because I didn't know Cedric had got a DQ, because they don't tell you that. So all I knew was I had a 5-second penalty. So until I got back here and could see it on the black and white, I wasn't quite sure.
Now looking ahead, you did qualify. What is your thought process going to the next race with the conditions of the roads? Is something that you guys have been thinking of the entire race?
Yeah, I mean, it's very slippy. There's so much blue groove. Partly what probably caused one of my maneuver errors there is this really slippy mid-corner, so it's so hard to pass. I think it's going to be really hard to race this clean in the final, if I'm honest, especially for 6 laps. So yeah, I'm going to try to stay out of trouble, keep out the way, and hopefully when I get to the finish, it's a good position.
Well, thanks, Oliver. It's going to be an exciting finale for sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Cold in here. Jared's just getting dressed. Finish that job, Jared. There we are.
Just throwing on the sweatshirt there. Sorry, I apologize about that. But just some amazing racing, man. Just keeping it real. I mean, this is a little bit of Nitro special sauce, man. All right, so again, Bennett, Martel, what's going on?
Okay, so we're waiting for a replay, basically, of the issues which gave us these penalties. So what's this? This is Bennett and... Okay, that's Martel going round. Oof. I mean, that's great, but Martel's he's at the back of little wall ride there for him. But he's definitely, at one point I did think he might be going through Jared, because I was thinking the penalties are coming so thick and fast, maybe from on the right. This is what Bennett got his penalty for. Boom.
Oh, wow.
I think, yeah, okay, I understand that. 5-second penalty, you're using another car as a brake. And so they gave him a 5-second penalty for that. So that was what put Cindric through, but then they've looked at something later in the race. We'll find out in a second.
I'm gutted for Chase Elliott, man. I don't know what happened when he went into that Yokohama Tire Joker lap, but it shut down.
Yeah, some
and
sort
Chase
of issue,
was right there.
Yeah, some sort of, and it is a shame. Yeah, I'm actually gutted that both, we thought they both could have made the final today, NASCAR legends, and just hasn't gone their way. So that is Rallycross a little bit.
Yeah, that is, and again, just about seat time, and I would love to see him back in the mix. And I threw it to Chase. I said, "All right, so we're going to see you in Canada, right? You're going to freeze it out with us?" He's like, "We'll see."
Yeah, they're playing it cool. They're playing it cool. Here we go. Literally. So this is Cindric. So Cindric coming into the back of Bennett, tips him into a spin. Yeah, so there you go. They've DQ'd him for that. I mean, a 5-second penalty would have put him back in the same position anyway, but yeah, there we go. So it was a 5-second penalty for Bennett. Jared's just shooting a couple more people. Someone you know, or is that just a random?
That's DC. That's our.
It's DC. I didn't know it was only from the rear. You can't shoot people in the back, Jared. It's just not cricket. It's not okay.
It is okay. Indy 500 winner, Buddy Rice. Just getting him over there, no big deal.
Yes, you might win the Indy 500, but you're still going to get it.
And Steven, who even does marketing for Gel Blasters. We're shooting him as well. All right, next stop is our Group E finals. And here's our guaranteed rate road to the finish line. Ollie Eriksson, Robin Larson on the front row. Notably, Robin Larson is our points leader. Row 2, Fraser McConnell and Travis Pastrana. Travis won Friday night. Row 3, Andreas Backerud and Kevin Eriksson. And then we got Meek and Ollie Bennett. So as we are just getting pumped here to blast away, we are finding out what's going on here. So Elisa, who's down there with Austin Cindric.
Austin, kind of a range of emotions. You weren't sure what happened in that race. From your perspective, what did you learn?
Yeah, I think Andrew was quick on the trigger as far as us making it to the final. Yeah, obviously a lot of contact up in front of me, and 42 had a puncture before I even got there. So he was in the fence all the way up in the berm, and I ran into a disabled vehicle. So look, I appreciate everyone embracing me coming and doing Rallycross again. Like I said, no matter what the ruling is, I've had a blast. I have no idea how that all worked out. It's very, I don't quite understand the logic behind it, but whatever it is, excited to watch Kevin and Oliver during the final. Those guys have been really instrumental in helping me out through the kind of this journey this weekend, and yeah, hopefully this isn't the last one, but thought we deserved to probably be in the final given the technicalities, but I guess I'm wrong.
All right, awesome. We appreciate the time. Obviously not the result you wanted, but thanks for stopping by.
It's racing.
I like that. That's racing, and Asa knows this. You know, again, Daytona 500 winner in 2022, 22 NASCAR Rookie of the Year, and here are some great moments from this weekend overall. Fraser McConnell, you know, he's been racing so well. Just, you know, from last year to this year, he just seems to be just having a racing maturity about him. There's Austin Cindric, who we were just talking to.
Yeah, he's taken that step, hasn't he, Fraz? And Ollie Bennett's taken a big step too. Chris Meek, even Chris Meek, who's a World Rally legend, has taken a step in being able to do a great pass. The stewards didn't agree. But then he went on and won the LCQ. It was funny talking to Chris Elliott, just going on about what a massive roller coaster it was. I do think most motorsport is, and interesting in Austin Cindric, because look, that's racing. He knows the drill. He'd be way more disappointed if this was NASCAR. He's here for a bit of fun. He will be disappointed not to get 6 more laps out there doing big jumps in FC1. Who wouldn't? But without
Connor went off the other day.
Yeah, off the side, off piste, very much off piste.
It's been a great marathon. You know, we're up here announcing in the booth, and we can so easily critique and try to get the inside of the racers. But just going in car, getting those POV shots from the drone shots that we got out there, it's all just different perspective. It's perspective of, you know, the race control across the box, and, you know, seeing Travis last night, he was a little upset. He was bummed that, you know, some of the racers feel that he maybe gets a little bit of grace. It's tough to kind of be the unofficial mayor of Nitro Rallycross, as, you know, the Nitro Circus family and Nitro Rallycross. You know, at the end of the day, he's still racing within a series that, he helped develop, but he doesn't dictate. They're not going to be leaning on him. He's a racer. He wants the same sort of rules that apply to everybody else. I mean, there we saw, you know, Robin Larson and Ollie Bennett get into it, and then, you know, Ollie Bennett and Travis Pastrana. It's, you know, it's a racing series. You know, there's nobody that's favored.
No, absolutely not.
That's not the case.
I get it, and he's say it is tricky for him because he's also always got both heads on. I remember him saying earlier this year, he goes, I don't want the penalty because I don't want it, but likewise understand it has to be fair.
Yep.
He's often actually doing his very best to make sure this is the best series it can be, and that's hard work. You know, he's having to think about how things could work. I don't want to do it like this, I want to do it like that. Yeah, it's a lot of weight to carry. He won't be thinking about any of that right now. Right now, he's just going to be focusing on this final that's coming up. We've got 8 drivers who are going to be fighting for round 6 of Nitro Rallycross. Can't wait.
Yeah, you talk about round 6, but there's so many updates going on and everything going down. You know, this being round 6, we kick things off UK, Sweden, right? And then into Minnesota, Glen Helen, doubleheader here. Yeah. We've announced Canada, so that's 8 rounds. You know, we kind of pushed Saudi Arabia. TBD on the other rounds. Our intention was to have 10 rounds, but just being a little more pliable, a little more flexible as the sun was setting. You know, that was Friday night.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. And do you know what that term?
I've watched the TV series.
American football.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. Let's do it. You know, let's do more racing under the lights. Definitely. I think everybody enjoyed that.
And back to Travis, that was his intention. You know, obviously he wanted to declare, you know, America coming back, and he wanted Minnesota. But on the front end of this, and even last year, he talked about Nitro Rallycross being something different, something unique, challenging tracks, and we've seen that already just in the 5 tracks that we've been to. This being a doubleheader, but you know, from Linden Hill, which is the birthplace of Rallycross.
Yeah,
it was awesome for me to be along you.
Oh mate, it was so good.
Talk.
So we went to the pub.
Yeah, we did. We went a couple times.
We found a pub that was older than America.
Exactly.
It was great. It was
streetness. You know what I mean? Like,
so good.
A great track.
Tommy in the lake.
Tommy in the lake. I mean, all the hijinks, but the racing in itself.
Yeah,
that's what I'm really talking about here is the variety. You know, ERX, just this big flowy, you know, big long jumps. You know, bottoming out. Cars going end over end between Andreas and Fraz. Going to Glen Helen, iconic track in the 2-wheel world. A little bit elongated compared to now this compact, video game-esque type course.
Yeah, Chris Meek coined that, didn't he? And the European thing, Jared, going back to that was so nice for me because I was lucky enough to be, I sometimes felt like the only European at the event other than the drivers last year, and I was inside this wonderful Nitro Circus / Nitro Rallycross thing that was growing so quickly, and they're like, we're going to go to Europe, and it was cool for me to the fans that I see so much over there go, oh my God, it's brilliant, and they loved it. They had a great time. So yeah, excited for the future of this series.
Taking a look, super excited. What's going down? And next stop, there is only one stop left on this Nitro Rallycross. The fans are absolutely hyped. Nitro Rallycross, we got Group E sending it here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. We got some fans over here. These guys are hyped. Yeah, we got some fans behind the cameras here. They're hyped. Where are you guys all from? These guys.
There's a bunch of guys here. Take a look.
Yeah, look at these guys.
You're on screen now. You're on screen
look at
right
the camera
now.
right there.
There we go.
Say what's up, Jim.
There it is.
Yeah, these guys are hyped. They're feeling it. All right. All right, let's throw it down to Elisa, who's with our winner. The fans are electric.
We were passing by going to the pre-grid, and one of the fans were like, you should stop. You gotta interview the guy. He just won. So here I am. How do you feel? How happy are you?
Really good. That final was the best one I ever had, and I won it, and that's just amazing.
Obviously, the fans are very excited here, so proud of your performance, I'm sure. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, the fans of all ages, you got to blast them. They're blasting. They're hyped. All right, Coley, here we go. We are getting ready to go. These are our NRX Nitro Rallycross Group E final. We are in the cockpit of our current points leader, Robin Larson. Look at the visor down. The sun is low. The dust is kicking up. An exciting NRX Group E final. Ollie Erickson on the front row. It's got Dixon on the hood. And let's see who we got. Well, here we are, 30 seconds to go. The card is going up. And here we go. Who do we have on the grid? We got that. Ollie Erickson on pole position. Next to our DRR JC RX Cartel. That is Robin Larson, our points leader. Second row, Fraser McConnell. Next to the 199, Travis Pastrana. Third row, Andreas Backrud and Kevin Erickson. And finally, the Excite Boys, the Brits, Chris Meek and Ollie Bennett bringing up the rear. Keep in mind, that last row, they're not out of contention. On Friday night, we saw Connor Martell and Andreas Backrud in that back row get second and third. Travis Pastrana, of course, got the win. The Pit Vipers are on. The sun is setting. And guess what? The Phoenix is going to rise. Who's coming out on top, Coley?
Here we go, then Pastrana getting those sunglasses on. It's a low sun. We're coming towards the end of 3 brilliant days of racing. On the outside of row 1, Robin Larson, Erickson on that pole. Can he get away first? Can he get down to turn 1? We've seen some amazing starts from row 2 as well. Watch out for McConnell and Pastrana. Any second now, I'll be launching all these cars down to turn 1. Drone coming in from the rear. Flicks it around, and Ericsson's got the best start by far. Larson shuts the door immediately in the background. One of the Excite cars has gone around. It's Chris Meek who's facing the wrong way. Ollie Erickson leading. Robin Larson up in a P2. It's Fraser McConnell in P3. Sideways, backward rolls. Enormous crash. Andreas backward, end over end. That's going to be a red flag. 100% disaster.
Wow, that was a massive roll there. Make sure he's okay. That was a big roll from Backrud.
Wow. Well, we'll take a look back at that when we check to say that everyone's okay. So that's not what we wanted to see at the end of a great weekend of racing. Red flag.
So again, Andreas Backrud, the number 13, the DRR JC. Now, we saw him in Minnesota, our first American round at ERX, went end over end. And these cars can take a hit. Just want to make sure he is okay before we get eyes on him. And it just seemed that he went up and over the jump, got kicked sideways, and we saw that with Kevin Erickson yesterday where he went sideways. Fortunately, he kept it where the rubber meets the road. There we are with his teammate, the DRR JC RX Cartel driver, Robin Larson, all of them coming to a halt. The Group E final is upon us. There's Ollie Erickson just finding out. I'm sure they're talking to their spotters, Coley.
Yeah, they will be. Larson, particularly on the radio immediately. Obviously, you know, Baccarat is his teammate. You check on the other drivers anyway, but particularly a teammate. If you remember, Larson actually ran to the pond to check if Fraser was okay. When he got the thumbs up from Fraser, he decided he didn't want to get his boots wet, which is fine. But they're all, okay, now they're coming back to the paddock, so we're certainly back to the start grid. I think they'll re-grid them down there. They held them at the time because, of course, where they were going to come back under is where Baccarat had ended up off the side.
You can see Travis looking over, inspecting. The wind is kicked up considerably here. We're in the cockpit of Ollie Eriksson once again. Our pole sitter, Robin Larson, the other driver on that front row. Getting a little brisk, a little colder here this afternoon compared to yesterday. The sun a little more intense yesterday. There he is, Andreas Baccarat, the 13 outside of his vehicle. Get that man some snacks. That gentleman always has a smile on his face, and you can almost see it through his helmet. So happy that he's okay.
Me too, mate. I think we should arrange something a bit stronger than a snack, personally. That is, look at that.
Get this man some booze.
Yeah, let's just say it like it is. He needs to let's get him over to the casino for a couple of jars, because that was a heavy one. Rear right corner completely off the car. Love the fact he's such a showman. Got out of the car. He's okay. You know, he's waved to the crowd and they went mad. That was one of the biggest cheers of the weekend. That's the spotters area. They will be relieved as well, the guys from DRRJC. Going to take a look back at what happened.
Yep, now down to 7 cars. There's Austin Cindric looking on. We will get him towed out of here. So now we can kind of analyze, where did it go south?
So Meek in the background, watch for Baccarat. He's on the inside of 4 cars, side by side with Bennett over the jump, where Bennett and him had contact on the way into the jump. So as Baccarat has picked up, effectively, Jared, it's a Scandinavian flick. His rear's been pushed, but as he then comes up over the jump, look, boom, he's gone in sideways and he rolls and then off the side of the track. And because, of course, that section of track is raised, he then ends up going off the side. Luckily, the dirt's a bit softer off the side of the track. And also, luckily, of course, we do now have a break where they can get these cars fixed up. So it's not like it was previously where they actually fixed the cars for the following day. Yeah. So this would be fine, I'm sure, but they've got some time to get it fixed.
Lost the wheel. I mean, just a lot of things went down there for Baccarat. Big hit.
The bodywork always looks worse on these because it's kind of like a shell over the top of a space frame, so it always looks worse. But that was a biggie. From the top, then Meek gets pushed into the inside by Kevin Eriksson at the back. I'm not saying pushed off, but it was a squeeze into turn 1. He was spun around. Chris would be pleased there's going to be a restart. The drone at this point, of course, is out front, flying underneath the A-Shock arch. Meanwhile, in the background, carnage has ensued. There it is. Great camera work there. I can't emphasize enough how tricky that is. They're whipping from right to left to try and keep up with the cars going up the hill, and then our camera operator has spotted it and come back the other way just to pick it up. But he's okay. That, as we've said many times before, is the only thing that matters.
Glad to see Andreas Baccarat get out of the car, give it the thumbs up, give it okay. So thank you so much to our hardworking safety staff, the local crew, really nice cats. All of them are just really good dudes. So thank you so much. Glad Andreas Baccarat, and thank you to the Olsbergs for building a stable vehicle that can take a hit like that and make sure that our drivers are safe. We have now whittled it down to 7 cars. 7 cars now in the final with Andreas Baccarat out. We will restart them. A full 6 laps to go because we did not complete even 1 lap as they went over to that A-Shock gap jump. As the Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park plays host to round 6, presented by A-Shock. Here we are once again after a red flag. Andreas Baccarat unfortunately goes end over end, and now we are settled with 7 vehicles.
Now remember, he closed that championship lead down, Jared, on Friday night by 10 points. He was actually only 13 points behind Larson coming into this, not where he wanted to be on the grid, and of course that's another reason you don't want to be at the back. There's traffic, and you get a little nudge, and these things happen. So That's going to hurt his championship big time. Pastrana's still in the mix. He's in P4. Remember, Fraser McConnell is third in the standings at the minute. So McConnell, Larson and Pastrana here looking to make the most of Backerud not being there.
Somebody needs to knock down Larson a little bit. He's a tall drink of water, and he's got that lead. There's a lot of racing still left. This is round 6 of what we intend to have as 10 rounds. And the other rounds are TBD after kind of modifying the schedule. So stay tuned on Nitro Rallycross's social media networks and to the website. Larson out front, Ollie Eriksson with that pole position. He got the TQ belt, he got the TQ sticker, the second of the season. Larson, he's seen TQ as well, top qualifier. You see the 3 crowns there for his Rallycross championships. Talking about Ollie Eriksson. And we are moments away from restarting our 7-car final in Group E.
The 3 crowns thing is something to do with basketball as well. He's a massive basketball fan, but it's
like a triple crown.
Yeah, it's not something I'm so aware of. But he was telling me about it earlier on this season. Got a memory like a goldfish, so I can't remember.
Mine's like an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah,
a lot
really
of drawings, and then just as soon as the event's over,
little
just shake it up. There's Andreas Backerud's vehicle getting it off. We'll get that thing back. We'll see you in Canada, Andreas.
Yeah, you see it there. It's definitely not as bad as it was at ERX. No way. No way. So rear right corner off, and yeah, a bit of a mess, but let's sweep it up and get going.
And here we go, Andreas. Exit stage left, 7 cars now in our red flag restart. This is round 6, Nitro Rallycross Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park, presented by A-Shock. You can see, again, the hand up there, kind of blocking them out. Here we go, the heartbeat resonates over Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. I'm Jared Deanna, and guess what? We got those 7 vehicles. Andreas Backerud out. On that front row, Ollie Eriksson's got pole position. Going against our points leader, Robin Larson. Second row, Fraser McConnell, the Jamaican. We're sitting right next to the 199 Travis Pastrana. Then you got the other vehicles, that of Kevin Eriksson. In the final row, the Excite Brits, Chris Meek and Ollie Bennett.
Andreas Backerud in the paddock with a thumbs up. That's what we got when we saw him climb out the car. Wasn't where he wanted to be on the grid. It's certainly not where he wants to be now. These guys, though, still get to fight it out. Eriksson, the only one of the top 4 who hasn't won so far this year. McConnell, Larson, Pastrana all have. Just a few seconds ago, we're going to get this show on the road again. So Larson versus Eriksson on row 1. McConnell and Pastrana, watch out for them on row 2. 5 lights to come on, then we're going to go green. The final race here after 3 brilliant days of action at Wild Horse Pass. Very short hold. Eriksson gets a good start. Larson, though, too. Larson moves across, trying to cover off the cars behind. Brilliantly done by him. Gets into P2. All the way around the outside. Kevin Eriksson all the way up in the fluff. Fraser McConnell is alongside in the background. He's been passed by Pastrana, so Pastrana has the inside line on the run up to turn 2. Side by side, Pastrana looks inside Larson. Ollie Eriksson around the outside line. It's Eriksson who leads.
Wow, how they all came out is unbelievable. Look at that, Fraser McConnell sitting in 3rd. Travis Pastrana tries to nose in, but Ollie Eriksson holds on to it. Robin Larson, he is throwing his elbows out. He is getting wide, he's getting big, and he's fending off both Fraser McConnell and Travis Pastrana, but Ollie Eriksson going into the Joker lap. You see Kevin Fraz, and I believe, who's that finally coming in there?
Yeah, Fraser. I'm not surprised he went in, but he's got Kevin Eriksson up his inside in the Joker. Kevin trying to pass them. That's going to cost both of them time, and they need to do that Joker as quickly as they possibly can. Eriksson jumps back into the arena with Larson in behind. Remember last time out in Sweden when Eriksson got the TQ, he did not convert. He ended up 8th. McConnell comes out in P4, I think it is, off the Joker. Chris Meek look up into 4th place, so we just don't know what that Joker delta is, Jared.
Look at this. We are riding shotgun on the roof of the number 4. Look at that diving in. That was Robin Larson on Ollie Eriksson, but cannot catch him. You can see down in there, you can see the Yokohama Tire Joker lap, the diamond denoting that they've hit it. Larson, look at that, really just feeding the wheel, really calm.
Yeah, Jared, I was just going to say, look at his inputs. They're super smooth. Neither of them goes Joker in the background, wanting to wonder if Pastrana or Meek does. He's getting closer to Eriksson. That's those little bits of finesse. Larson is calm in this car. Remember, Larson's taken a win. He leads the standings. Eriksson has not. He's going to be desperate to win, and the pressure is up for that.
And Larson is just calculating. Larson is such a good kind of surgeon when it comes to watching what the driver in front of him is doing, and he's looking for those windows of opportunity. He might not do it right then, but he's keeping count of when he can do it. Keep in mind also, Ollie Eriksson, our TQ, our pole sitter, that seems to be the trend. Those that get TQ, trying to get the way. Larson dives in on the inside. It looks he fends him off. Is that clean? Is it dirty? I don't know. I like it though. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too. We sit. The stewards might not be here for it. Ericsson going to get in the door of Larson, but either way, it is now Larson who leads from Ollie Ericsson. Chris Meek has got past Pastrana because Pastrana went Joker. The hood is up on the front of Ericsson's car. He's sitting on the left side. That's going to give him a little bit less vision. Flapping about like mad, so he's going to try and chase it down. We're only halfway through this. All three of the top cars, Jared, yet to Joker. This could still go the way of Pastrana and McConnell behind.
Look at this, Robin Larson with his quickest lap so far. Now, does he take that Yokohama Tire Joker lap? Does he wait for his second to last lap?
The vision for Ollie is terrible, Jared. It's up, it's flapping right up high across. He may just be able to see out the left-hand side of the screen. Look at this, it's like a complete block. You ride on board, that's what he can see, and he's still holding on to P2. This is epic.
All right, so Robin Larson again, you can see the clock right next to him, and the Dixon logo being right put in the face of Ollie Ericsson. The lead is just absolutely alternate right now. And Chris Meek, look at that, he's sitting in third. Pastrana sitting in fourth, just outside.
Behind, there's a bit of carnage going on. Kevin Ericsson's got past Pastrana, maybe McConnell too. Into the Joker lap goes Chris Meek. Meek looking to try and get his first ever podium in Rallycross, and he might just do it, Jared. He's got a lead of a couple of seconds. He's on the limit and sideways through. Ollie Ericsson still fully committed. The only thing that bonnet might be doing is keeping the sun out of his eyes. Otherwise, it's a disaster.
Yeah, Robin Larson out front. Here comes the zipper, and Chris Meek drops into third.
P3, but has he got a problem? He was super sideways on the way
squirrely.
in there.
Definitely got squirrely exiting out of that Joker lap. Look at the sun and the dust. That combined, that really impedes on your vision.
Larson and Ericsson, Jared, have to go this lap. Remember, they can't Joker on the last lap. They're going to go in. I think they've got enough of margin over Chris Meek, so at the minute, the top three are pretty much set, but they're going to go this time.
Ollie Bennett jumping over our leaders, Robin Larson and Ericsson. Here we go, going to the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. How does Larson handle it? Pretty smooth on the line, and it looks like Ericsson does scrub a little bit of speed, going hard into that left. How loose does it get? Here we are taking a look at Meek, and both of them swinging wide. Meek, now can he gain a position? You can see Meeks mathematically takes the lead, but here come...
It's going to be close, isn't it, on
there
P2?
It is, Larson, Ericsson. And look, Larson does hold on to it. Larson holds on to the lead, Ericsson in second, and Chris Meek still in third. His first podium, can he get it? You got a smile on your face there, Coley.
It was close, wasn't it, with Ericsson? He's just nosed it in on the jump, sideways over the top of that crest. Kevin Ericsson is a threat here to Chris Meek in the background. He's closing him down, but Ericsson's coming under pressure from McConnell too.
All right, so Robin Larson out front, Ericsson, Meek. Is this how it's going to end? Meek flirting with disaster there. You saw him nose down, almost cased that jump. Ollie Ericsson, couple more turns. Checker flag, it's coming up there, Coley. Get pumped.
Robin Larson with that move. Will the stewards like it or not? We liked it. I'm sure he liked it in the stands. The championship leader definitely likes it. Larson going to jump into the sunset here in Phoenix and into his second when he becomes our second double winner of the season. Ollie Ericsson on the podium, couldn't quite take the win. Chris Meek with his first ever Rallycross podium and the first podium for Excite Energy Racing. A brilliant way to finish a fantastic weekend.
Let's listen to Larson. Look at that. Pumping the roof. He's excited. And like you said, a two-time customer, and Robin Larson, he won, was it in UK? He won at Linden Hill.
He won the first, and he's led the standings ever since, Jared. Yep. He had his worst result on Friday with a P5. How terrible. Yes, he's stoked. He's stoked. That's his second win of the season. It's going to extend his championship lead. The only thing is whether or not the stewards look at that move and decide it was too physical. But we've had that discussion earlier on today. We want to see racing. So, you know, we'll park that for now.
Let's ask Ollie.
Yeah,
let's bring Ollie in here.
No.
And like I said, he wears it like a bad suit. There he is. There's the eyes. Ollie
Ericsson. A little look across from Ollie, wasn't it? Right, hold on then. Let's see what happens here when Robin gets out, unplugs his comms. Ollie's over on the far side there. There he is, Robin, with a quick nod to the crowd here. Awesome.
Congratulations to Robin Larson, up top, our points leader. Ollie Ericsson in second, Chris Meek in third, rounding out the rest of the drivers. Ericsson, McConnell, Pastrana, and Bennett, with Andreas Backerud ending early, going end over end. Glad he's okay. So Elisa down there on the grid, going to wrap out with our winner. Again, Sweden, UK, 1, 2, and 3. Down to you, Elisa, who's with our winner.
Robin, congratulations. You're here celebrating with Ollie, your second win win of the year. How amazing was this race?
I've been waiting for after the first heat is like 3 hours, so I was so nervous the last 2 hours, I think. So this one felt pretty fucking good. Tough Friday, coming back now, showed the pace, and I know it was going to be hard on the outside, and then I saw my teammate Andreas with a big roll, so her is okay. But really nice to be on the top spot again, and after that Friday, it feels so good. And what effort for the team. My team was Joel is home and watching after his new daughter, so this is for her and him.
A very competitive race. You have this big trophy right behind you. It's pretty amazing. So we're gonna go look at it right now. look how amazing that is. I'm have picked that up. It's pretty to put the monster down. He picked it up. Look how amazing that looks. Congratulations once again. He says it feels good, guys. It looks good on him.
Thank you.
Attaboy, Robin Larson. And again, we made light of it, but I mean, dude, a circular saw almost took him out. But here he, I don't know if you heard about that story. A circular saw almost cut himself. He says centimeters, and he would not be with us. So he's celebrating in more ways than one. Congratulations to him. Again, two-time customer. So Elisa, you got to ask the question. Is Ollie cool with that pass? Go ahead and ask the tough questions, Lisa.
Ollie, I know you heard Jared on the intercom pass. Obviously a very competitive race there at the end.
Yeah, for sure it was tough. I mean, Robin had packed something up from yesterday, I think, so it was quick. When the blue group came now, I tried to keep it tight and tidy everywhere, but I don't know, I never quite got the grip down, you know, and obviously he did, and he made the pass stick. I tried to get back and he brake checked me a bit, so I ran straight into the back of him, but I got the yesterday one, but he got the big one, so.
Was that a fair pass?
Yeah, I mean, I ran wide. He got all the way up to my front wheel to pass me, so I don't think it's much more to say. He was quick today.
We appreciate that, Ollie. Thanks so much.
Bravo, bravo. We appreciate the sportsmanship. It says, I run wide.
Totally though. He's super disappointed there, and he's just been completely honest and just gone, I ran wide. So fair go, and well done, Robin Larson. He would have been freaking out.
Well, guess what? His first podium. He's back in the building. Chris Meek, congrats on your first Nitro Rallycross Group E podium.
Congratulations, Chris. So on the podium, how good does that feel?
Yeah, incredible. Such an awesome track, such an awesome weekend. We had a great day yesterday. Unfortunately, we fell foul of a stewards decision, which I'm sure not many people agree with, but that set me back today because I have to start at the back of the grids. But with a DNF in the heat, we had a DNF in the semi-final, and then we got the last chance qualifier where we started at the back of the grid. So we got through and won that, which got me 7th place in the final. But even then it wasn't over because before Backrud had his roll, I spun at the first corner because one of the Ericssons hit me and my steering wheel was like this for the whole part of the race after. So such a big shout out to the team, Excite Energy Racing. They've done an incredible job. So really happy, honestly chuffed. I didn't think I'd be here an hour ago. So what a great series and some great racing.
Way to fight back, guys. Congratulations. It was a heck of a race.
Thank you so much, Elisa, and congratulations.
Third time on a podium for someone from the LCQ. Remember, we had 2 podium finishes on Friday, and now Chris Meek has made it as well. So, great stuff. Good stories.
All right, which one was it? The My Energy Best Pass? Which one do you think it is, Coley?
Last in the final.
That's right. That is exactly right.
That's it.
And admittly, sportsmanship. Ollie Erickson says, look, he am swinging wide. Larson dives in, and there it is, My Energy Best Pass.
Yeah, it is.
He bonked him a little bit, but
he had rotation on that car in the air. It was sick. He was whipping it in over the crest beforehand. When you see it from that different angle from the front, I thought that was awesome. So fair go. That was great.
Yeah, well done there by Rob. Yeah, I know. Again, we're fans of this. So, all right, the A-Shock Big Air moment. Which moment do you think that was? Well, guess what? The 199 Travis Pastrana, and that was from the semifinals. This Power Plus Vermont sports car vehicle. Boop.
Did you see the piece on social yesterday with the car noise? Yeah. It was great, wasn't it?
Look at this. And there it is. Travis Pastrana, the 199 winner at round 5. And here we are, the guaranteed rate fastest lap of Nitro Rallycross, and it was the hammer down for Connor Martell. He's your guaranteed rate fastest lap. He was absolutely ripping, and here is his time of 50.3. We saw 51 yesterday, 50.3 today from the hammer, Connor Martell.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with today not making the final, but he will take away from this the fact he's bang on the pace and he got a podium on Friday, Jared, so it's a good weekend for him.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here. The Melkins always have a good time. We have a good time. So many friends, so many family here in the building. Here is the finals, how it shaped up. Ollie Eriksson, it looked like he was just going to defend off Larson. We saw cars pointed every which direction.
Kevin Eriksson round the outside. He won a round of the World Championship doing that once, but it would have been a bit of a big ask to come from row 3 to try and do the same thing. But he tried it, and we like a tryer.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to risk it for the biscuit, baby. Fraser McConnell, was definitely fast, but really, really exciting. So there's some of our best moments from Nitro Rallycross round 5 and 6 under the lights. A lot of firsts for us between the double header under the lights. Travis Pastrana, first two-time winner. Then obviously Robin Larson, the second two-time winner this season, winning winning in UK and then winning here. All right, so as we are getting prepared, remember, we're going north, baby. We are going to Canada for round 7 and 8. Be sure to tune in or join us in the snow, in the ice. Sav, thank you so much for joining us out here, and the whole party continues. Coley, closing thoughts?
I've had a great weekend. It's been a marathon for us and for the guys. I think amazing stuff from everybody. What that pass was just a brilliant way. I actually thought the final was a great way, wasn't it, to end this weekend? Just fantastic.
Yeah,
how close awesome. He was. He tried to come back, didn't he?
And we saw that. Just all the exchanges.
I forgot about the hood.
The hood.
Like so
the
much.
hood is flapping in the wind. Again, the passes, everything that's going down overall. Andrew Coley, I'm Jared Dienda. Thank you to Lisa. Of course, Street Bike Tommy. Thank you to our whole team, our whole staff. Of course, thank you to Gel Blasters for just having some fun with us.
So much
fun.
But
all of it has been absolutely amazing. Like I said, we're going to Canada up next, round 7 and 8, Nitro Rallycross presented by A-Shock. The doubleheader, that's a wrap from here in Arizona. Thank you so much, Coley. Got to see Elton John last night.
Yeah,
we got to see his show this weekend. It's been great. It's been absolutely insane. Guess what? Bring your jacket. We're going to Canada.
Yeah. Looking forward. It's going to be like minus. I'm not even going to say the temperature because it's a European temperature and we're in America. How cold is it going to be in America?
I don't know. It's going to be cold.
Real cold.
It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold outside.
Damn cold.
Well, the home of poutine, which I love poutine, which I don't know how that's not American. Fries, cheese, and gravy. Absolutely awesome.
I've been there a few times.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So round 7 and 8, please be sure to join us on behalf of Andrew Coley, Elisa, Street Bike Tommy, and the whole Nitro Rallycross team. Thank you so much. I'm Jared Dienda. Send it. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time.